This is how it is today on Pop Culture Minefield. This is how it is today. This is how it is today on Pop Culture Minefield.
Oh my God, it's Monday morning.
Yay!
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I need some cocaine. Get me going.
Anymore for me.
Liquid
I picked the
cocaine,
wrong
nice.
week to stop sniffing glue.
Oh shit, that's what it was. Crap.
Oh man.
Hey, deleted.
Deleted Scenes is here. Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Ah,
Josh Coe is
yeah.
here, and he's free. One morning, we're going to get inexpensive Josh Coe. We're not free anymore. We only did that to get you hooked.
Right? That's how they do it.
That's how they do it, those goddamn Josh Coe dealers. So, yes, like, share, subscribe. Don't forget that. Click that like button. And if you get a chance to, leave a comment.
Yeah.
My favorite comments, because like we get some really good comments, we really do. But then we'll get like some asshole that pops in and goes, "Stop blabbering and show the movie." I shit you not.
Yeah,
They
because
think
it doesn't
that
say movie
they're
discussion on
showing
the thumbnail. Jesus.
the fucking movie with the word discussion.
Yeah.
It's like, and I've like replied to a couple of them before deleting them, so they get a chance to read my response. Going, learn to fucking read.
I do
Embarrassing.
believe those has to be kids.
No,
Because I don't
sadly,
know.
I think adults can be just as dumb.
Oh, they
man.
can be that dumb. They can be that dumb. Yes.
First of all, I've been around for 60 years, and I've seen every type of human being. I really have. And I've probably run into more moronic adults than I have kids. And I played Xbox Live with Halo, where over half the players are fucking under 12. That's why I quit playing that game. Dude. I RAPE'd you. I'm like, dude, your balls haven't even dropped yet.
Dude, I explain this to me. You, as well as I, you don't like people. Why the fuck do you play games in which you have to interact with other people?
Well, back then, you didn't have the mute feature. I mute everyone. That's why when you and I play, I have to go in and add you. So it's only you and I talking. Because I will inevitably say something to somebody if they get stupid with me. Because my brain works that way. If you say something to me, I have a very fast sense of humor. And before I can even think about it, I've already said it. Yeah,
In other
before I
words,
can
you
think
have
about
no
not
brain to
saying it.
mouth filter. Yeah, gotcha.
That's why I get so, well, I have a filter, but the problem is my filter works more for saying something smartass than to stop me from saying something smartass.
That is not a filter.
No.
That's
Which is
lack of
why-
filter, Gerry. That's lack of filter.
It is a filter. It goes the wrong direction because my brain is designed since
I like the way-
childhood to have a quick sense of humor.
I like the way you're spinning this. That's good.
Yeah. I
Because
do
if
have
I didn't have a filter, nobody would like me at all.
I do have a filter. The thing is, I ponder it, and if I find it more funny or relieving for me to say that the consequences, then they have the consequences.
Yeah, one of the things that frustrates Anima is that I am so quick to respond to things that she's like, I'm not letting her finish a sentence But then I'm like, well, go ahead. And then
I
she'll finish
hate
it and it
that.
went exactly where I expected it to go.
That's not what this is about. It's a thing of respect to let me finish my sentence.
I know,
even
but the
when you
problem
know
is
where it's
my
going.
my brain works faster than other people's. And I've been tested. My brain works faster. And so I get ahead of the conversation very quickly. And I don't like it. I don't like it. It has
Bonjour,
nothing to
Christian.
do with a lack of respect. So, bonjour, mon ami.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
It's been a while.
Christian
This is
DeLeon.
bullshit.
And
It's been a second since we've seen
if
Christian.
if we have made your ears bleed, Christian, I'm sorry.
Or Creedence Gold.
You know what?
on
He
some
came to
platforms.
America and never came by for a visit.
Well,
I went down and saw him in New Orleans.
would you?
As I recall, he had to go through Missouri, and Keith and I were wanting to see him.
Oh,
He
he
went
may
to
have.
Missouri and did. Whoa, that sucks.
He may have. So Keith, and they kept it a secret
If he did, I'm going to cry. Because I love Christian. I was hoping to see him when he did his trip.
Did you drive to New Orleans, Christian, or did you fly? If you drove, you're crazy. God, that's nuts.
I love driving. I love long car trips.
No, did enough of that when I was a kid. That's all right. No
Okay,
thanks.
so I thought
Oh,
your
I will
Texas trip
never
was
have
earlier
enough of
this
that.
year. Okay.
I'm a driving
Okay.
man. I like long.
Yeah, if you
trips.
go straight south, you go through Missouri to go to Texas. Canada. You'll
Yeah,
also
I'm
hit
only
Arkansas.
I'm only one state away from Gerry. All I have to do is jump over Arkansas, and I'm right there. Yep.
Or as we like to say here in Missouri, Arkansas.
Arkansas. Yeah.
Because it irritates the shit out of them when we do it. Oh, you're from Arkansas. Like,
Dude, that hurts my brain.
it's
I'm not even
Arkansas.
American.
I said, no, if you take the AR off, it's just Kansas.
Just
son.
Kansas. Don't church it up, son. It's Kansas.
Yeah, you named it after our city, Kansas City, Missouri.
So it's Kansas, but with augmented reality. Okay.
Oh, so by
Arkansas.
that thinking,
It's
the
like we're gonna get more inbreeding here than
Oh
Kansas
my
does.
god.
So according to
Where's
what you
the
just
show
said,
going?
by that line of thinking, the state named itself after Kansas City too, right?
Yeah. And you know what? Look, the state motto is put your sister to the test.
Oh my god.
What the?
Oh my god.
Careful, man. There's a beverage here. What the hell?
I'm starting to believe you don't like having a channel.
I actually love Kansas, but I mean Arkansas. I've been there quite a few times. My aunt lived there when I was a child, my great aunt, and I loved her. She was so awesome. She had just a horrible, horrible death. She fell and broke her hip,
Oh.
and nobody came by
Fuck.
until it was too late.
He drove to
terrible.
Myrtle Beach, Florida. He flew to New Orleans. Okay. There you go.
So when is your Texas trip? Because it would
Let
be
us-
really fun if it coincided with another person's trip.
He's already planning for New York next summer. He texted me about that this morning. He wants me to get together with him in New York because he knows my wife wants to go to New York really, really bad. It's the last place on earth I want to go to, but
It's the only place I've seen in America, and it was great.
Foxy's got friggin' bucket list stuff. She wants to go to Broadway, go to a Broadway show, and she wants to go to Bobby Flay's restaurant.
I stayed there for a week, 8 days, and a colleague of my dad had his daughter with him. And so the guys, obviously orchestra, they were working in the evening, and they didn't want us to hang out at the hotel, so they gave us money, and we went to Times Square and got tickets. Our hotel was in Times Square too. So every evening for a whole week, we saw awesome Broadway shows. I saw Cats on Broadway. It doesn't get better than that.
There you go.
I would never want to live in a city like New York, but just visiting for a week, man, that was so cool.
Yeah. If I had to go to a big city, I'd want to go to Boston. I want to go walk the Freedom Trail, man. My family's from there, and I haven't been there since I was fucking 12. You know.
Well,
so.
man, I would like to. There's a number of places that I would like to see in the state, but if I only had once and only once and only one, that would have to be the Smithsonian Museum.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one for bucket list.
Yeah, it takes several days to visit the.
I was fixing to say there's several buildings. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I've only been to the Air and Space Museum. That's the only one.
Of course, that's the first one. That would be the first one and the last one.
And when you walk
I would revisit
directly to your right is the model from the original series of Star Trek. The actual ship that they used filming it. That's very cool.
Dude, in YouTube there's a documentary of the restoration of that piece for that exhibition. Yes.
It's huge. That thing is huge.
It's huge.
Huge. No.
So Gerry, dog soldiers.
Dog shit.
No.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
it's an okay.
We can't
It's an
poo-poo
okay
on what
movie.
people like. We can't do that.
It's an okay film.
I will do as I please.
I had fun watching it.
It is a fun film. It's on my
Don't take it
My,
seriously. Check your brain.
dirty pleasure movies.
Yeah.
One of those
Guilty
things
pleasure
I'll pop out
movies.
every
Yeah.
once in a while.
Mhm.
Check your
And,
brain at the entrance. Enjoy your popcorn with it. That's what it is.
Because look, if you're going to look for, because it's a military film with at least there's good weapons handling in it.
I was fixing to say, yeah, their life
Yeah, but
discipline ain't worth a shit. They're building fires at
She can win the hell out of it.
They've
But
got they refer to them as special ops when that's not what they'd be
SAS?
called. Yeah, they would be SAS. Those guys are clearly they're not Royal Marines. So it's kind of messy in that part where they didn't have any knowledge of the military. But I still enjoyed the shit out of that movie because it's got werewolves in it. And clearly all their money went into the
The
costumes
suits.
And they
and
didn't have
the
much
one-
money to be.
the one full-scale explosion they had. That
Yeah.
was their budget. They made that show on a $2.3 million budget, and they made $5 million off of
That's a
the film.
victory. That's a victory.
It is a victory.
Yep.
Hey, Penny's
I
in the
think-
house.
Hi, Penny.
Good morning, Penny. I would think that if they had played, a little smarter, they would have made more because there was no marketing for that film. I didn't
Yeah.
find out about that movie until it was already available on video. And then I was like, oh man, I would have liked to see none of the theater fucking werewolves. Oh!
What's cool about movies? What's cool about movies like this is, first of all, this is definitely a guilty pleasure. It reminds me of the old trauma movies and stuff like that. But
Better done, but yeah.
yeah. But the other thing about it is I love watching stuff from a couple of decades ago to see where these young actors that we see all the time came from. And you do see that in here. I was blown away by
Hear me out. Here's the strangest thing, because Liam Cunningham, he looks so young, but Sean Pertwee, he looks the same. That
Right.
guy is a picture. He doesn't get. He don't, I have never seen him younger or older. He looks exactly the same always.
Mhm.
Maybe he is a real werewolf.
I got to look up the IMDb page. Do you think
IMDb. What did you say? It sounded like one fucking word. The IMDb.
IMDb. Do you
It's
think
IMDb.
do you think Matthew Vaughn or the guy that wrote the Kingsman graphic novel maybe got an inspiration from this film with the shoot the dog thing? What do you think?
It could be. I haven't seen the first two films. I've only watched the third film. I got so mad I stopped watching the first film.
Really?
I got so pissed at the fucking junky nature of the writing. I just people are like, oh, but it's fun. I'm like, look, I know how to check my brain at a door. That fucking show started pissing me off.
Sorry,
And
what are
because
we
it
talking about?
started out with a good idea. What?
What movie are you talking about?
He's talking about Kingsman.
Oh, I like Kingsman.
That's yeah.
Okay, I'm bringing up the slideshow.
Is it me, or could Liam Cunningham be the brother of the guy from The Professional, the French actor? What's his name?
Hey, he could play his brother easily.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. I every time I see him, I see that dude in his facial features.
Jean Reno. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he looks just like him.
Who?
Yeah, it's got a heck of a cast, man.
Liam Cunningham and Jean Reno.
Yeah,
they are very look-alike.
Very similar facial shape and eye shape. Yeah.
Except for the nose.
So I'm getting ready to share some photos. Pause the slideshow because
I will.
the opening is important.
By the way, I clipped the backdoor video. So we need somebody of our brave audience to do a bridge.
The breach. It's morning. Nobody's up to it.
are you calling out for a
Well,
breach? Good Lord, man.
Well, Penny's here. You don't know what she's gonna do.
Oh, no,
So the stars of this film begin with this gentleman. That's Liam Cunningham. You know him from Game of Thrones.
Yep.
And the guy that he's testing after this scene is this gentleman. That's Kevin McKidd. A lot of people know him without the accent from a little show called Grey's Anatomy, which I've proudly never watched.
Oh,
My
man.
wife binge watches it. Yeah, I recognize.
I watched the original.
That
I watched the original show where a doctor is constantly having conversations with himself through his narration, and it was called Scrubs. They did it first. It was much better and it's funny. And the other actor in this film is son of a doctor. He is the son of John Pertwee, and it's Sean Pertwee, famous for TV shows like Elementary and Gotham. Played Alfred Pennyworth in Gotham. He was actually, in my opinion, the best part of that show. And then he's also in the third Alien film, in the prison.
and he's on Event Horizon, and he's on Soldier.
Here's the funny thing about Event Horizon. I saw it one time, and I said I liked it better when it was called Hellraiser.
Wow, really? That's
And
I've never seen it, so yeah.
and
It's
so
a racer in space,
yeah, it
but
is
it's cool.
Hellraiser in space.
Cool.
but it's good.
And
I might like it then.
it's got great effects in it. I liked the dude's second film, which was Soldier.
Coffee run.
Those are the only two that I liked of his. I have a problem with him as a filmmaker.
What? Trainspotting? I don't remember. What?
He's in Trainspotting.
That's another one I've never seen.
He's the best part of Brave. He plays a father and son. And did we upload that? Is it not here?
Master Bruce.
Hold on, let me upload it. My video is going to go to shit.
This actress in that take with that facial gesture reminds me a little of Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, we have Glenn Fleming. Dude, we have our trifecta here. No.
Yeah.
You
Well,
have
it's,
Lee, we have Andy, we have Glenn.
It's afternoon for those in England.
Yeah, it's 4:30. They're 1 hour behind me. It's tea time, I guess.
Glenn will like this. When we were in England and we stopped in a tea shop, my father and I was 13 years old, and the gentleman walked up to me and he says, "Can I have a bottle of tea?" And I went, "I would prefer to have a whole cup, thank you." And he's like, American house roll. So I do have the 2 videos now. Here goes the first one. This is Kevin McKidd playing both the father and son.
Oh, Artie, if he was a wee bit closer, I could lob a caber at him, kin.
Ah, fuck did he say?
I love this.
That's a Scottish brogue, and he happens to know it. And when they found that out, they're like, "Oh shit!" So they cast him as both characters.
You feel the same way? It's just nae fair marking respect for the hand of the coin. It doesn't win to nip it, kin?
Okay.
That's one thing I
What
noticed.
is it?
That's one thing I noticed about this movie. The Scottish accents aren't that thick. You can actually understand what they're saying.
Well, they were trying to go for a more mass market film.
Right.
So, tone it down, son, is what they would say.
Exactly. Right.
Man, I can swear, if you only hear in the movie, sometimes you would say, "Is that Brian?"
What?
Brian from 70s Rock Fan.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. His accent's thicker than the guys in this movie. He's talking about Brian, that 70s rock fan. Yeah.
Now, one of the things that was alluded to in this film that they don't really, it was originally in the script, they left out, was the reason why the girl is attacked first, and he's ovulating.
Pheromones. What's up?
Pheromone. And the girl later also. For some reason, I don't know what happened. That it's just not in there. And I felt like something was missing.
No,
With it
a
not
lot
in there.
was missing.
Just but I still look, I enjoy the crap out of this film. I really do. But it's just not the most intelligently written werewolf film
No,
I've ever seen.
by
No,
far
it
it's
is
not.
not.
But you know what? I'm with you, Gary. There's movies that look. I'm a huge fan of the Blood Rain series by Uwe Boll, and it is one of the worst.
And I
pieces of
couldn't
slop.
stand it. I tried to enjoy it, and I could not stand it.
Dude, you have to see Far Cry with the guy.
I liked him in that. I hated the movie, but I enjoyed him. Till Schweiger.
Yes. He
Anima
was-
doesn't like him. She
I
can't
don't
stand
like
him.
him. He can't act. He can't act to save his life. I fucking hate
Ah,
the
but
guy. He's so boring.
no, he had a dry humor in that movie, like Arnold's, and it was awesome.
No, he has no humor. He
So the
just-
Have
main
you
thing we
watched-
got. Now,
Just
correct me if
stop.
I'm wrong.
Talking to Anima about it. Just discontinue the conversation.
Right? Give it up now.
It
Give it up.
will
now.
not end well for you. Nothing you can say will sway her. So
The
I loved
opening-
watching Rab C every week. I think it's on Netflix now. What are you talking
I don't
about?
know what that is.
The fuck is Rab C?
Rab-
what the
Rab
fuck are you
C.
talking about?
Nesbitt?
I've seen Nesbitt. Don't know. The opening scene where the girl gets killed. About the only thing that is a through line is the knife that she
Yeah.
gives as a gift.
Yeah, the whole silver
Yeah.
knife thing.
Mm-hmm. And this is Coop trying to try out for the special action team, right? Or whatever the hell they call themselves. The no name
Yeah.
tag team.
Give me a moment here. Rhapsody Nesbitt, according to Wikipedia, is a Scottish comedy series which began in 1988.
Wow.
I'm looking
and,
at it now.
It's a long run.
Did he die?
Who?
The main guy.
Don't know.
The fat guy with the suspenders and the nipples.
George Fisher?
And the dude has some big ass nipples. I'm looking at photos from the show. Like, goddamn, dude. Goddamn.
No, apparently not. He's alive. According to my search, he's
What's really
alive.
funny is like I took a joke a Scottish friend of mine made. one day, and I turned it back at him. And he started talking about one of his favorite shows when he was growing up in Inverness. And I said, I've heard of that show. I thought that was from Pakistan. And if you don't understand that, that means you've never heard Scotsmen shit on people doing Scottish accents that aren't from Scotland.
Don't get it. So yeah, I
Yeah. One of the most famous criticisms of Scotty is
that's the only one I heard.
joking that he's from Pakistan. Now, they make fun of the other Scotty too when he tries to do Scottish.
You know who my favorite guy?
I heard it was from his son when they asked him for reprise the role of his father, and he said, "Oh, but I don't have a Scottish accent," and they told him, "No, don't worry, lad. You need your dad.
Just do your dad's accent. It's not an Aberdeen accent like he said it was."
My favorite guy I've ever seen do a Scottish accent is Robin Williams. That was funny as hell.
Well, he was pretty close. He was really close, but he spent a lot of time in Scotland. Now, I want to point out that the couple are both killed. It's kind of a creepy scene when the zipper starts unzipping on their tent.
Mm. Yeah, he's unzipping her pants, and all of a sudden the door's being unzipped on the tent at the same time.
Little known fact,
trolling werewolves
from Rob was in The Wicker Man. The original, I hope, because that was a good film. And it's on my list to eventually do, because, God, I love that film. Christopher Lee is so fucking evil in that. Little known fact.
Hey, welcome, Pacific. Good to see you, my man. And Scribelight.
Well, Scribelight I see every once in a while, but it's been a few weeks since I've seen Pacific. I think the last time I saw Pacific was on another stream. It's good to see you guys. And Andy Morrow, if you didn't read his response, sorry, been rioting.
Right? Yeah. You go, Andy. You go. We're
Look,
with you.
man, UK is too far gone, but I love seeing them try. But you saw the news. The guy is calling for a crackdown on these people trying to save their country.
Yeah, on the internet.
And they want to impose lockdowns rules again.
Yep. With you, Andy. Be careful out there, brother. The other thing you need to point out is the scene before this too about the dog. He wouldn't shoot. Cooper wouldn't shoot the dog, so he didn't get to play with the special.
Well, that situation would never fucking happen that way.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. No.
The
guy's obviously evil from the get-go. Liam, whatever his name is
Cunningham.
Cunningham. Yeah, he's obviously evil from the get-go.
Gonna hit play. Well, what? Oh man, how can I put this? Whoever to adhere to the ends justify the means is basically evil.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
That is why they call them Machiavellic, because it was Nicholas of Machiavelli who came with that little piece of advice.
Now, what's cool about this is Gerry has and I have talked about these things several times. You see what brass adapters look like here, because they're
this is ours were red.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Martin before the show. They're like red boxes with a side missing, and it works like a C-clamp.
It's like a C-clamp that fits. It's got a little cup here that goes over the barrel, and then the end of it has a little rubber plug in it, and you screw it tight, and that plug goes into the muzzle, and it holds it there. It's a fitted C-clamp, is what it is, with wing nut on it to tighten it, and it forces the gases back into the rifle, forcing the eject of the round. And as the charging handle goes back to eject because of the gases pushing it, when it comes back forward, it slides another round into the chamber.
It gives it the recoil action.
And it does everything that if you were firing a live round.
Yep.
But when you use them, it's obvious you've got one on your weapon. It's not a live
Yeah,
weapon.
it's a huge
You
thing.
try to fire a live round in that, you're gonna fucking kill yourself.
You're gonna kill yourself, yeah, because the weapon's gonna blow apart on you.
Right in your face.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst part of that is if it forces the charging handle back while your face is up to it, it can
Oh, thanks for the
go
visual,
right into your
Gerry.
skull.
Woo,
Yeah.
yikes.
A lot of bad things can happen with a discharge of a bad round.
Yeah.
And you'll see them. There are these great videos out now. People are finding out more and more the importance where you get what's called. Oh, I just forgot the name of it. When a round goes off but doesn't fire. There's a special name for that. It's oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
can't
to
remember.
reach into the
I
drawer
can't
and
remember the
I can't
term.
find it.
Yeah,
I'm looking
can't
to the top right, which means I'm going to the memory side of my brain.
right.
And,
I can't think of it either. It's not cook
A
off.
dot?
It's
Dot?
that's what you're supposed to do with it is let it cook off. But I can't remember what it's called. It's not a misfire. That's not what it is either. It's. I
I'm
can't
going to look
remember
it
the
up real
term
quick
either,
because it's
Gerry.
going to round
Yeah.
doesn't
Okay.
fully fire.
Yeah.
Should I hit play on this?
Yeah, you said
Yeah, you can hit play on it.
you said it
This
already.
is-
Yeah.
Basically, we're going to see them acting like National Guardsmen from the 80s, basically.
Yeah, from the movie Southern Comfort, which is so unrealistic as hell, but I still love that movie too.
It is a great movie, even though it's not realistic at all. Yes. Oh, have you done that on this show? Have you done Southern Comfort?
No.
Nope.
Oh, brother. Yeah, we
And
should do
it
that.
is I do own a copy of it, so dud. It's a dud.
I told
Done.
it
That's
like
it.
3
That's it.
times.
Did you?
Nobody
Yeah,
listened
with
to
your
me.
accent, I don't know what you're saying half the time.
Uh,
Oh man. Oh, that's messed up. Okay.
do you want my answer in English or in Spanish?
I'm sorry, was he asking something?
Care to
Let's hear about
translate,
the
Joe?
donkey and the heft and
No,
your
I'm
uncle.
No.
Let's hear about your uncle and the donkey again.
I love you both. I'm not in the middle of this, okay? I'm not in the middle of this.
So Sil Abdul got a hold of me yesterday, by the way.
Hey,
And
come.
you guys all know who Sil Abdul is, and
Yep.
we've been friends for a long time. And we're going to do a show together, single episode, where we're trying to get a hold of Chris Gore right now to talk to him about some of the changes that are happening across the entertainment landscape right now, as well as talk about some of the cool shit that Film Threat's been doing over the last couple of years.
Oh yeah.
So kind of stoked about that because Sil got a hold of me yesterday.
Very
Cam
cool.
Cam, yes. Hello, Cam Cam. So yeah, we're just sort of hanging out here and watching a slideshow for this Scottish produced horror film. And it's not really scary. I
No.
look, werewolf movies don't scare me. The kind of films that freak me out are psychological films that get into the real psyche of like the evil shit that people do. And that'll
Well, with
get
this
to me,
one,
get under my
You
skin.
need to be able to handle some gore with this movie.
Yeah, there's
Because
gore in it.
coming out.
Yeah, if
We
I,
get
had,
back.
The werewolves are so well done. That was
if
impressive.
I had to
Knowing what
describe
We
this
did
movie
get
was
back.
after.
What the fuck?
if I had to describe this movie to somebody, I would say it's a mashup of Predator, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and The Howling. Just smashed together in one movie.
Which even with the Howling, you have that Texas Chainsaw Massacre aspect. That
Mhm.
it's a group,
Yeah.
a clan, a family. And I do believe by their helmets, they're British Army.
hmm Yeah, I thought that too. That when I
In
was
fact,
watching it, I was like,
those are paratrooper helmets, as I recall.
Mhm.
They're wearing British paratrooper. But I love the bantering in the film. There is some good bantering in it.
Well,
There it
are
is.
big
Now
maneuvers.
theirs goes. Ours was more like a C clamp. Theirs goes over and is fully enclosed, and they screw it on,
Mm-hmm.
tighten it.
Theirs is sexier. Ours is big and bulky and red.
And red.
Yeah.
And the Miles gear is really fucking bulky too.
Yeah, it is. Good God. That laser
Now
kid's
that
crazy.
guy back there, that's Sean Pertwee. He's carrying a bullpup. He's got a bullpup too. I think he has a bullpup too.
Everybody has a bullpup.
These are rear magazine loaded. The magazine is behind the pistol grip. There's Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
He was well on his way after this show. He had a TV show that should have been a hit. And it got one season called Traveler, where he is a person who's been impacted by a science project where he will suddenly have an outburst of energy in his body that will send him back in time.
Wow.
And I
Okay.
enjoyed the shit out of that show.
We have someone new. His name is Common People, but I cannot put it on here because YouTube censored it, and once you censor, you don't appear. But he says, I'm not usually scared by movies, but Sixth Sense really freaked me out. I know that's Glenn. Common People says about this one. I watched it at 9 or 10. Scared the see you next Tuesday out of me. Oh,
Really?
well, he has 9 or 10 years old. I can see that.
That is a word that is
Yeah.
in my common parlance. See you next Tuesday. And a lot of Americans don't like that word, but I grew up on British stuff. And
they use it
so
all
I
the
use it the way
time. Yeah.
I use it the way they do. And I remember my sister got pissed at me. Don't say that word. And I said, I'll tell you what, you call your state senator and the cops and see if they'll do anything about it, because I'm not going to stop saying that word because I don't fucking care.
Oh, soon they will. That will be qualified as hate speech.
Here in America, they'll try that shit. And then some guys from the deep south that everybody talks shit about until it's important. And then that's the guy you want. Dog Soldiers, this movie is fun. McKidd, Pertwee, Reno. It's not Reno. It's Sean Cunningham or Ian Cunningham. Liam Cunningham. God.
Yeah. See?
That image right there is absolutely right from Southern Comfort.
Yeah. It sure does.
It's also the image that we have on the thumbnail once Pertwee walks up with his weapon and they're all sitting there and then they all get ready because something happens. Oh,
Yeah,
gonna get you a Frosty?
that picture of you on the thumbnail, is that an AI adjusted picture?
Yeah, not something to talk about on the show.
I'm just wondering.
Okay,
Ask
we have
later.
weapon talking.
That's cool.
That's production stuff. No, I'm not gonna talk about that on the show. But yes,
Okay.
it is.
Okay, we have weapon talking here in the chat.
My nephew is Royal Marine. He says he and his pals hate the SA-80A2, the common rifle used. Yeah, look, I'm going to tell you right now, it's a piece of shit. Got all kinds of fucking problems. Got no power.
Why is it used?
As I recall, that's a caseless weapon too. I'm not a fan of caseless weapons.
Yeah, it was a good idea, but the implementation is awful. The cartridges have a lot of problems.
Why don't they switch
And
to something
that was
better?
who I was talking to, was Penny, because she's going to Wendy's, and I was asking if she's going to get him a Frosty. Because anybody who knows Wendy's knows that shit's good.
Mm-hmm. I miss them.
Frosties are not a dairy product, but God damn it, I don't care. My dad would get a small, and his blood sugar, he managed his fucking blood sugar eating one Frosty a day, one of the smalls. Nothing bigger than a small. I was like, that's really good, Dad. Hey, Dag is here.
Hi, Adega.
I finally see common people right there. What's up, common people? I like the avatar.
Yes, the avatar is
Yeah.
awesome.
That's pretty cool.
By the way, I have a nephew. He is also a royal pain in the ass. Yeah, you saw what I
Jeez.
did there.
Yeah, I saw what you did.
Actually, I love all my nieces and nephews. They're all awesome. Even their next generation, my great nieces and nephews, are amazing. I just love listening to them. I'll go up on Facebook, see what they're doing. Only thing I got upset about one time was my niece Megan, who I love. God, she's such a sweetheart. And she's the one, Anima, I've told you about that said, Uncle Gerry, when she was looking at my son Sean, says, "You make pretty babies." I went, "I know." All my kids are doing. They're ugly when they come out, though. Woo! They all look like angry versions of my dad. And Zoe looked like fucking E.T. when she came out. She even did that thing when I made a noise to get her attention. She was like all hunkered down, and then her neck like stretched like E.T. in the turn. And I'm like, oh my God, my fucking daughter looks like E.T.
Does she know you're talking about her like that?
Yes, she knows. My daughter's heard everything I could ever say because I always wanted her to have a healthy sense of self. So I would constantly say nice things, and then I would follow it up with something poking fun at her. And it's because of it. It's even though she is easy to cry, she is easy to cry. I have video still of her crying, just drop of a hat, just over nothing. And I remember Mac and I just like what the fuck just happened? We were like, she went from to crying in an instant. It was just like she is the most feely person I know, my daughter. And I know she got that from me because I have a lot of emotions. I just don't show them. And it's like the only emotion you'll get out of me, it looks like annoyance. I don't look angry. I just look annoyed. And that's about the only emotion I show. I love these scenes with Pertwee because you realize that, and they did. They show the bond between him and Kevin McKidd's character.
Mhm.
And the bantering, again, I'm pointing this out. I love the bantering in this. And I think that's really what sold this film for me is the bantering. And we refer to that as grabassery in the military. Because you've got to be grabastic in the military. If you can't be grabastic, people start shunning you. And I saw that firsthand. It's like guys don't want to hang out with people who don't know how to be grabastic.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah.
Dragons in the house. Welcome, Dragon Roots.
Oh, hey, Dragon Ruse, what's up? It was such a good ruse, I thought he was just a lizard.
You never know.
You never know.
Hey, Lee Carson again.
Lee Carlson, what's up? So I really like Doug Soldier's quote, "I hope I give you the shits." Yeah, what do you like?
Oh,
That was a good line. That was a good line.
It's a great fucking line. It was a good line as a werewolf advanced on one of them. Out of bullets, objects thrown to desperation at the werewolf. Yeah, some great, I'm telling you, this has some great dialogue. I also liked, in order to save money, to show how the dog have like a night vision, they just shot the scenes in daylight and altered it with giving it a yellow hue. And it's really intense black and whites. Would probably have
No, Pertwee got vaporized.
Yeah, in the house with the house exploding.
Yes.
But he was infected.
Yeah.
So is there a chance to survive? I doubt it.
We are all doomed, Shanatsky.
Okay.
I don't think that's coming back.
D. Bud Martin is here too. Good morning, my friend. Says Gerry likes to play grab ass. Who could have guessed that? I know.
Yeah, right.
But that is what they call it in the military. It's a military term. Grab ass, grabastic. In fact, they even use that, I think, in Full Metal Jacket. You grabastic.
Something.
What
yeah.
was the insult?
Don't know.
Something of amphibian shit.
I was fixing to say, I think shit was at the end of it.
Yeah, it's grabastic something amphibian shit. And man, I'm telling
Anima
you.
mother who says that.
No, that was Arlie Ermy as Drill Sergeant Hartman. And that is a big difference. He's a drill instructor, not a drill sergeant. Marine Corps calls them DIs, and we call them in the Army, we call them drill sergeants. Yeah, that's another great line.
Yeah.
I love the name Spoon in this film. And you can't help but wonder, like, how did he get that fucking name? Because the nicknames you get in the military, once you get them, it absolutely means something, and it's something usually fucked up and funny. It's never what you want, because you are never given the nickname you want. For a while, and you've seen the photo, right, Joe, that my buddy sent me from the Army?
Mm-hmm.
And they called me Joker.
Yeah. And
I didn't like that because of Full Metal Jacket. Worse than that, my first battle buddy during reception is what you do before you go to full-on training. Just in a barracks, and there's still, you got these would-be, wannabe drill instructors that are yelling at you. These are all failed drill sergeants.
Yeah.
And so they got a chip on their fucking dicks that they want to throw at you every fucking day. Yeah. And I'm serious, dude. They were more brutal in reception than the drill sergeants were in basic, because they were just fucking angry, hated being there. Ghost is the name I got later because I walk quietly.
Mine was Little Joe.
I scared the shit out of my sergeant, because Dave Hope was his name, my first sergeant. He wasn't my first sergeant. He was my very first sergeant in our platoon. And he turned around to say something to somebody else, and I'm right there, right on him, standing next to him, like within a hair's breadth. And he turned and went, fuck. And he's the one who said, he goes, how does somebody so big walk so fucking quietly? You're like a ghost. That's how it got started. So there's Liam. Liam is hurt, and the makeup makes him look injured and sick. But there's a point in the film where you're watching and you look at him and you go, that dude looks really pink and healthy right now. And eventually, Kevin McKidd rips his shirt open to bandages, and you see he's completely healed in one day. And it's like, oh, fucking
well, the fact that he's alive should tell you a lot. You know, I mean, everybody else got wasted.
They fucking knew he was a werewolf and did nothing. Man, I would
have put a bullet in his brain, but you don't know if a bullet works, and that's the thing. That's why.
Yeah,
why did they show the silver blade at the beginning?
I believe if you cut his head, that would make the trick.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Cut that off.
We got another comment here that I didn't see. I knew Sean Pertwee and Kevin McKidd, but most of the other actors I'd never seen before. Liam Cunningham, I knew. Actually, I knew him. No, I knew Pertwee first because of Alien 3. But Liam Cunningham was in some stuff that I knew from the British television and film. And so I knew him better than I knew Sean Pertwee. When this film came out, I knew who he was solidly. But I also knew who Pertwee was. But Kevin McKidd, this came out right at the point, because I think it was around the same time I saw his TV series. And I did not know at first that he was the same guy that was in Trainspotting. And by the way, a lot of people don't know that Train spotting is actually a term, and he worked it in there as a what do you call it? It's kind of a double entendre, having two meanings. But they, by having those three actors in there and having a solid actors play the other characters, this is a really well acted film.
It is. These guys are all in. They're not mailing it in. The actors are really good. They are.
They're very good.
I have to give it that, no doubt.
Trivia: Lee Ermey ad-libbed the reach around line because it's the actual thing that a drill instructor would say. Kubrick didn't know what it even meant. I'm not surprised. When he explained, Lee said Kubrick blushed and was embarrassed. Yes. It's when you're banging another guy in the ass and reach around and jerk him off.
Okay.
And it's used pretty regularly in the military to you know, it's all about dehumanizing trainees.
Well, that and we're always getting fucked at one turn or another. Yeah, no doubt.
Well, you know, I didn't have much of an education in those things. I learned most of those things because I hung out with veterans when I was a teenager. I loved just hanging out with veterans. And I didn't want to hang out with kids my age. I didn't go out on Fridays and Saturdays. I would hang out with these old fucking timers talking about war. That was awesome to me. He is. Well, because he and my boss were close friends, which is why I met Ermey. And I was so grateful I got to meet him before he died, because I've always been a fan of his. I knew who he was before Full Metal Jacket, because he's in another favorite film of mine called The Boys of Company C.
Yes.
He was also the drill instructor in that.
He wasn't far.
But that was before he got his teeth fixed.
I was fixing to say, yeah. He was young, you know, probably close to what he looked like when he was a drill sergeant or drill instructor, whatever the hell they call him.
He's kind of a gooseneck dude, too, if you notice.
I don't know. You know, we've talked about this before. I love The Boys in Company C. That's my favorite Vietnam movie. And I just think of my father every time I see that scene between him and Washington where he takes his hat off. And I think of my dad every time I see it, because that whole drill instructor experience turned my dad off of it completely. He ended up joining the Air Force after he was done with 6 in the Army. After that, yeah. So.
The Howling was scary when I was a small boy in the early 80s on VHS. I saw it in movie theater when I was 16. And didn't scare me until the scene in the clinic, when the reporter gets cornered by the bad guy, played by a good actor. He'd become famous later. He played the holographic doctor on Voyager.
Right.
Robert Picardo.
Picardo. He played that character. By the way, did you ever see my meme, Captain Picardo? I put his face on Picard.
Really?
I did
Holographic Captain?
Meme.
Cool.
Yes. And I had him say something that Picard made famous, but I had it said more funny. Let's see, what was the next one? Remember the film Oh, fuck yeah. In fact, there was a promo image. All you get is a single image of a woman screaming, and all you can see is the shoulder and arm of something coming into camera. And I happen to know exactly what film that came from. And I shared it with Nadia and with Fanzine. Just the image. I said, I'm not going to say what film this is. If you guys are as big a horror nerd as I am, you automatically know what this movie is. Because it doesn't show the face or body. It just shows a corner of the shoulder and a bit of the arm. And that's all you see. And I'm like going, yeah, it's Basket Case. I love that fucking movie. That movie's ridiculous, but fucking good. They came up with a film that reminded me of it years later that went more for the laughs as a parody horror film. And where a guy has a demon that comes out of his ass at night when he's asleep.
Oh, yes, I know what it is. Bad Robert, something like that.
Bad Rob. Or Bad Robert. Bad Robert, yeah. Bad Robert, and it is absolutely like Basket Case, and it just fucking cracks me up.
What are they smoking to come up with ideas like that?
Man,
Sitting around high one day,
I was fixing to
that'd
say,
be really
there's a
cool.
whole lot of weed involved in that.
You
no
know,
doubt.
the guy that came up with that surely was watching Total Recall, and when he saw Cuaro and he was high, he said, "Hey, would it be nice if instead of
That was later.
suspicious-"
Basket Case actually came out first, even though good joke, it came out first. Funny
So
seeing
Cuaro is
in
the
film.
PG version.
Yeah, he was in Gremlins 2, Inner Space. He was Howling because he was friends with Joe Dante. Joe Dante got his troupe, acting troupe, his actors that he liked to use, and he would use them over. Dick Miller was in that group. John Sayles, the director, was also a regular in some of his films. He's in the movie Matinee in particular. Him and Dick Miller are partners, con man partners in the film. I love that movie and I want to do a show about it. I want to because I love that movie because that was my childhood. Little pigs, little pigs. We've come to nick your video. Yeah, this film is kind of cheeky in its own way, you know. Oh, come on, people. I just said something about the fucking movie, but we go off on these tangents. My answer is welcome to ADD Theater.
Right?
And I did not trust her.
Yeah.
No.
No.
How
From the
can
Something
you?
was
get-go.
off with her.
She
yeah.
showed up on the road, and what did she say after they pulled off?
Just
and they
happens
got
on
to-
their scene, you know.
But no, she doesn't. She was looking for him. She says
Yes,
that.
she tell them.
That right
but-
there should tell you something's wrong. How does she know the military's out there? Come on now.
Oh, because she heard shooting.
Whatever.
It's a little too
I'm not-
convenient for her to show up like that.
Come on.
I'm
If
just
she had a good
saying what
fire
she
going-
said. I'm
if she had
just
a good
saying what
fire
she
going
said.
in that house, she would have never heard that gunfire from that far away. Give me a break.
With the hills, I would agree. You would have trouble, but in an open woods,
Yeah.
flat like
Mhm.
the New Jersey Pine Barrens, you'd hear the gunfire for miles.
Not
Also,
that
she
hilly
probably
ass
wasn't in the
friggin'
house.
countryside
She was-
though.
She was probably.
I do like
outdoors.
that little cottage.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of English countryside cottages. I love them. Yeah,
The
you always
sugar
drive
that's
into the
really
forest when
lovely.
you hear shooting.
Yeah.
There you go.
Who doesn't?
Remember,
Who doesn't?
Yeah, yeah, with your safety
But
orange
she's-
on, right? Yeah, give me a break.
she said to them that she heard the shooting and she went looking for somebody to help her to fence the werewolves. That is her excuse. I'm not saying that it's valid. I'm saying that she said that.
Where's the nearest phone? Like everything is. It's like that line
Everything is
from
so far away.
what is that movie? Oh brother, where art thou? He's wanting to get him some Dapper Dan
Yes.
hair grease. He goes, I need to get me some Dapper Dan. He goes, well, we don't have Dapper Dan, but we got Fop. He goes, I don't want Fop. I want Dapper Dan. I'm a Dapper Dan man. And he says, you know, when are you going to get to me? Well, everything's like, it's like, well, that's about 4 hours away. He said, well, aren't you a geological anomaly? Everything's exactly 4 hours away from
Away
here.
from you. Yeah.
Oh, there's
And
a
you ask
trivia.
one thing and it's 4 hours away. The next thing you ask 4 hours away, and then he just fucking gets mean with it. It's like,
When I saw this cottage, I thought of Skyfall right away. I was
Dude,
like, this is in the
there's a
middle of
trivia
nowhere.
about that in IMDb.
really?
Yeah, they say. Oh man, I had it here. Ah, okay. More than once, Megan asserts that the remote cottage where most of the action takes place is 50 miles from the nearest habitation for
Yeah, she did
William,
say that. Yeah.
or from the next glen where Megan claims her cottage to be. Even if she were lying to stop the soldiers from trying to leave, they ought to have known that nowhere is more than 50 miles from anywhere in the Highland of Scotland.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh.
It's the size of an average state, the country, the entire country of, the United Kingdom
Hmm.
is the size of an American state. And it's like, it's the dense population of that country kind of blows my mind sometimes. And that they still have forestry in that country with as many people as they have.
Glenn says, if I drive for 4 hours, I'm in the sea.
There you go. There you go. It's like this movie was made for Americans that don't know much about the UK or Europe.
I just wanted to say that. American audience.
Yeah, it's like
they
4
don't-
hours. I'm halfway to France.
Common people, yes, I saw that interview. It's very good one. It's better than the movie.
And anybody who knows me knows I'm a big fan.
You
of
can
Christopher
easily go
Reeve.
across 3 countries or so in 4 hours.
You dance. You said your words, Reed. Your word.
The thing I hated about London when I first got there, first time I ever went, and we got in there and middle of the night and went to our hotel. So I didn't notice it, but the next morning we walked to a little restaurant near the hotel, and just the stink of diesel. Wow. It was overpowering in the morning.
Mhm.
I guess because there's less driving at night, so it lifts. But my God, the next morning. But also on that morning when we stopped in the cafe, they had a jukebox in there. And I walked over and it had the song Mana Mana do, 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 by the Muppets. It was released as a single.
Yeah.
I must have played it like 15 times, pissing off everybody in that restaurant.
I fucking love that song, man.
Me
I got
too.
So
Mana
many happy memories with it.
Mana
I'm
Mana.
surprised that nobody kicked you out of that place for doing that.
Well, look, there was that opportunity when Dad and I went to a pub for breakfast because you could actually get good breakfast meals in pubs. And I got thick cut bacon with eggs. And I remember it was something like hash that was served on the side. It was really good. And I'm sitting there, and Tarzan was on TV with Johnny Weissmuller. Classic. And I'm looking up, watching it, and I suddenly heard these guys that bellied up to the bar talking shit about Johnny Weissmuller. Because, Tarzan's a fucking Brit, and they've got a fucking American swimmer playing him and just mocking him. And that's when I started singing the song 1814. We took a little trip.
What year was that?
Along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. And you mean when I did it?
Yes.
77.
So this from the 70s, we're having this representation shit. Yeah, the actor
I know what
should
you
have
mean.
been a Briton because the character is a British.
Yeah, he is British, but he wouldn't act British or speak British.
I know, but I mean, it's the same shit from now on. They get, oh, if the actor isn't the character,
In fact,
is
if
that.
you watch the Johnny Weissmuller films, he spoke like he was from the jungle. Tarzan, no like. Spoke like a
Shadatsky,
spoiler.
remember?
Yeah, phenomenon.
Do, do.
Phenomenon. I don't think they were hash browns because they had like little bits of meat in them. So they're more like corned beef hash. Which, if you've ever had corned beef hash, it's hash browns with corned beef in it. That's all it is. And but this was darker, and it looked like it had been cooked on an iron pan or on a grill. But it was fucking delicious. That's all I got to say. And I ate a lot of weird shit over there. I had what's that? Blood pudding. The only thing I refused to eat was spotted dick.
Mm.
I refused to eat anything with the word dick in it. My dad
You eat
tried
a
to convince me.
dicks.
I'm like, because I'm a literal person, and in my mind, I'm like, it's made from horse peter, isn't it? It's made from a horse peter, cow peter. It's like it's got peter in it, doesn't it? I don't want it. I don't want
know
it.
it's a dessert.
And
Black
I've managed
pudding
to,
is in it.
until adulthood, never eat testicles, goat testicles, and I had them. I was in the military. I had some, and I'm like, they're tasty. I'll never eat them again. Black pudding. There's so many. My favorite dish in the UK, and this movie triggers this. I fucking love steak and kidney pie. And you say that in the United States, and people are like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you eating kidneys? That'll kill you." I'm like, "No, it won't."
No.
Come on, man. Kidneys are good. You just got to boil them and clean them. Yeah, black pudding.
God damn it.
Yeah, when I'm talking, I'm a solid dick. So yeah, I talk
No.
solid dick.
I'm not gonna say anything. I promise.
There's nothing to say, really, Martin.
Oh no, there's so much things to say, but I won't.
And it's some
Nothing
kind of
good.
sausage, by the way, spotted dick. It's some kind of sausage, and
I
wanted
thought it was a
nothing.
dessert.
I don't know. I don't know. I never had it. I've seen it, never had it. Steak and kidney pie is awesome. Absolutely. There was this hole in the wall restaurant across from Big Ben, right next to the underground. And oh my God, you would walk into this place. It's just open. There's no door. It's just open. They would lift the gate, and you would go in, and there was no seating except for around the wall, because they meant you to come in and buy your pasty or whatever they were serving and fucking go. And but they did offer a few limited seatings along a bar along the wall, and then you went to the counter, order your food, and that was where I had my first taste of steak and kidney pie. And I didn't know any better to not eat kidney as an American, but I didn't give a shit. Funny, years later, I was told that I couldn't donate blood because I had had beef products in England in the 70s.
Oh, because the cow madness disease.
Yeah. And I was told that, and then I said, well, I didn't have that because I didn't eat any meat. I lied. So I give blood because I knew I didn't have mad cow disease. Fucking crazy.
Oh yes.
I love liver and
Livers
onions.
onion.
But when I became a short order cook for Shoney's Big Boy, all we fixed, because I-95 is how you go from New York to Florida and Florida back to New York. And our restaurant was right off the off ramp. And so we got all these older Jewish families showing up at this restaurant. And all they ever wanted to order from us was liver and onions. And I cooked it so much that the smell was on me when I got home. And I lost my taste for it. I didn't have it again until I was in my 40s. It cost me 25 years of eating liver and onion because of that shit. And I enjoy it again now. I love a good serving of liver and onions. Good shit. I also love the way my grandmother made fried chicken livers, breaded. Good God, that was good. You have spotted dick with custard. It is a dessert.
There you go.
Black pudding is gorgeous. Yes, it's congealed pig's blood, but that don't faze me. It's nice with bacon sauce. Oh, I bet it is. I don't remember what it tasted like because I had it with something. I like bangers and mash, and I've had what's that Scottish? I forgot the name of it. The Scottish dish with cow intestines.
Haggis?
Haggis. Thank you.
Oh, I want
And it
to
was
try
really
that.
fucking good. It was really fucking good. Oh, Reed asked if I've ever had haggis. Yes, I have, and it's really fucking good. British food is fairly basic. We're not like the French or Italians in this respect. The thing I loved most was just the traditional fish and chips. And this is back in the day when they actually would serve it in newspaper. You go into the shop, they'd wrap it in newspaper and give it to you. And it's like a cone.
Mm.
And I'm walking out like, that's fucking awesome. Just eating out of this little paper cone.
The
And
thing I have gathered from popular culture, because I sadly have never been on British soil, is that their food is high in protein. There's much protein focused food. Even the pies are made of meat and shit. That's awesome.
yeah, they eat a lot of meat. They eat a lot of animal parts that normally wouldn't. And this is typical of a poor culture, and impoverished culture. That's where that comes from. It's like I grew up in Virginia from age 8 on, and pig knuckles, tongue, hot sausage were very popular with
Yeah.
kids. We love those things,
Um,
and it's pickled leftover parts. And it's because of the slave culture and eventually became the poor culture of the region of eating these things because nothing was left. They
Sausage is
would
perfect
take
to put
everything
in
off the bone.
everything you have left over.
Yeah.
You just make sausage.
I'm old
out
enough
of
to remember a time in the UK before McDonald's was even there. I actually arrived the same year McDonald's arrived in England. And I
so
ate
it was
at the
all your
first
fault.
McDonald's in London. And I could not stand the hamburgers because I don't know if it was the altitude or what difference, but it tasted like meatloaf to me, which I love meatloaf, but I don't want to taste meatloaf when I'm eating McDonald's. The fries were good, which you still call chips, which I explained that to Anima. In America, we call chips crispy potatoes.
Yeah.
Okay, in England, those are called crisps.
Yeah, it's just
And-
England though. The rest of Europe says
Chips and
chips.
French fries, yeah. Hmm.
The rest of Europe says chips for the crisps, and
And they're called French fries, and oddly, they were pretty much created in the British Isles.
in Belgium, as far as I know.
I'm proud to say I have. Well, there's a line I love in the film Fish Called Wanda. The single greatest contribution of British cuisine, the chip.
The chip. And he puts one up each nostril with ketchup.
Yep, with ketchup as a lubricant. That's so fucking funny and so mean because he's got a
Oh,
fucking
man.
apple in his mouth so he can't breathe.
Too fucking funny, man. Oh God.
So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ketchup is not as much as a lubricant as it is a sealant.
I was fixing to say sealant. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Oh,
thinking.
that'd be awesome, Glenn. It's an invitation to come to his house for some of his wife's cooking.
Oh, so you would come over for Glenn's
no.
wife's cooking? You won't come over for me? That's nice.
I couldn't. The
I'm never
moment
going to go
I
back
step-
overseas again.
The moment I step out of the plane, I will be put under arrest for hate speech instantly.
Yeah, I would. For some of the shit I say, I would definitely be arrested over there because England is pretty much lost. That you guys took too long to fight back. The time to have fought back was 5 years ago. and now they've got a foothold in everything over there. They've even got their hooks into the royal family. I feel bad. Britain's in bad shape.
The whole world is in fucking bad
Yeah.
shape.
And you see it in Ireland and in Great Britain. You're seeing the fight back. And it's like, this was needed 5 fucking years ago. But the problem is, it was so passive the way they did it that a lot of people, I don't think, were aware of what was happening. And here in America, watching a lot of British stuff, we were spotting it. Yes, Scotland has hate crime laws now. Scotland is fucked. It's absolutely fucked, Scotland.
I'll tell you this. It is my opinion that it's never too late to fight. Never, ever.
I think they gave up after.
Well, you
Brexit.
should always be prepared. But winning is going to be really hard. I mean, you look at it yesterday. Those people were protesting. The people that were being violent were the other side. And look, I've got friends who is Islamic, and I love them. But the people that are immigrating there are doing it on purpose in order to bring Islam to England. They don't want to become part of the culture. They want to overtake the culture and push it away. And the media is helping them do this. They're complicit in destroying the culture of England. They absolutely are.
Yep.
And they're doing the same thing in Ireland. I remember when Father Weems, my godfather, turned to me one day and he says, you know what the fastest growing religion in Ireland is right now? Islam.
Islam. Every time I hear this conversation, I hear Michael Savage's words: borders, language, culture. If you don't have those 3 things, you don't have a country.
Yep.
That's just all there is to it. You say what you want about that guy, but he's right about that. If you let a bunch of people
he's so aggressive.
Yeah.
But
it ruins
now
his message. It does, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It does. It makes it hard to listen to him. But he's absolutely spot on with a lot of the shit he says.
Gerry, if you don't have people assimilate, then you're going to lose your culture.
I don't know why I can't see what he's saying there, so I'm going to have to go over to the main message. The video blocks it. Oh wait, no, now I can see it. By the way, I wanted to point out that Liam looks like Jean Reno now because he's made up to look so extra healthy right now.
Right.
But that's a common thing with the British. You have to make them up to make them look healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
I was reading about Johnny. I do this with a predominantly British audience.
Let me explain this to our new British viewers. That is the way in which he expressed affection.
Affection. It's true. If I'm shitting on you, it means I like you. I love the dog, by the way, in this film, and I would never shit on this dog. I love those border collies. They're just beautiful and so fucking smart. I was reading about Johnny Horton, who wrote and performed the Battle of New Orleans. Yep, among other veterans, first ID, North Africa, Sicily, Normandy, Bronze Star. All absolutely accurate. And he says, F you. And that's why it's a term of affection for me if I call you a limey.
Whoa, this is interesting. That is a first.
No, absolutely. That's yesterday. It was announced that Catholics and Protestants are working together to protest in Ireland.
Imagine that. I have never understood 2 Christian factions warring.
They
with each other.
finally read Sun Tzu. The Irish finally read Sun Tzu. The enemy of my enemy.
My enemy is my friend. That's it. No doubt.
He's not shouldering that weapon very well. I didn't like that.
Oh no, they chicken wing the shit out of all weapons here.
Look, we're not looking for military accuracy in this.
That's what you mean by chicken wing. Okay, now I get it.
Lee Carlson, as am I. I am mostly agnostic, but I am devoutly Catholic. I will never end being Catholic. When I die, I hope I'm a part of me is buried in the Catholic cemetery.
Part of you.
Yeah, because I want to be, you know, turned into ashes and some of it handed out to the people I love in a little urn, not like poured into their fucking hand or anything.
Or use an adulterant on their coffee.
Although I made a joke when I was in my early 30s in a car with Jason Pankoke and his girlfriend and some girl that liked me and I didn't dig her. And so they were talking about, like, when I die, I want to have this. When I die, I want to have this. Or when I die, I want to have this done. And then they finally turned to me, Gerry, when you die, what do you want to have done? I said, I want to be cremated and then turned into a soup and injected by Anima into Kathy Ireland's ass. The girl was seriously not interested in me anymore after that.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
I am
And
a son of
I
the
was
South.
glad because I wanted to make that joke. It was it the minute they started talking about it, I was already forming what I wanted to say.
Yeah. I'm a son of the South, raised Baptist, but if I had to describe my religious outview, it would be Christian. So, yeah.
And you are right, Martin. It is there's always a first time for something, and this is it. That you've seen unification of the Catholics and the Protestants in Ireland.
Yeah. Well, I mean, best way I can describe it is like in Independence Day. Remember, they have that one scene where they're putting together the counterattack near the end of the film, and you see the Jewish state standing side by side with the Iranians. It would take something from the outside, a threat from the outside of this planet.
Well, that was the basic plot of Watchmen, the graphic novel, comic series / trade paperback.
Right. That's
I don't know why I call it a graphic novel because it's not. But it
that was
they
Ozymandias'
faked
goal,
an alien
right?
invasion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Gerry, you may relate to this.
I mostly went Protestant schools. I was expelled from Catholic high school for messing around. I pissed off a priest when he heard me say something.
Imagine that.
To one of my friends, because I said I liked it when I was in Catholic school because it's easier access with those little skirts.
Oh boy.
I got yelled at for that. And it was just a joke. I was too young to have done that. But the uniform was just begging for that joke.
Man.
Now, this I never understood at first why they showed this, and then it was like, oh, they wanted to show her palm healed.
Yeah.
Later.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but you never see the palm here healed because they bandage it.
No, they left so much shit out.
No, you know what?
One of the subplots originally was why the werewolves were doing what they were doing. Why the girl in the tent was attacked first wasn't the silver. It was a false thing. It was because she was ovulating. And the same thing with this girl. The reason why they're attacking the house isn't because they're in there. It's because they wanted her to mate.
Yeah, they're breeding.
Yeah, but she's part of the family. She's one of the sisters.
I'm telling you, this is one of the original plots, little twists. And I kind of felt they should have kept that in there. They say family. It doesn't mean they're blood related. It's a clan.
But now, here's the thing. I was always suspecting her, but it was not the palm that gave me confirmation beyond all doubt. No. In the next to last attack, she get a scratch on her right arm. Three claws. And some scenes later, that scratch is not there anymore. And when I saw it, I saw it.
Yeah, it was more for the audience to see and notice. By the way, Billy Connolly has a great bit about pissing off a visiting bishop at school. That's funny. I don't know if I've ever seen that one. I do know that I got sympathy from when I was confirmed, I was playing called midget league football when I was in middle school, junior high school, same thing. And basically, I got a really bad case of jock itch.
Oh,
And during confirmation, I'm sitting there and I'm dying in that seat, waiting. And I didn't notice it, but I was apparently grinding a little bit into the seat because it was so uncomfortable. And when I met the bishop, you know, each new, you know, confirmed Catholic goes up and he recommended a jock itch formula that he uses to me. And I was like, oh my God, he noticed. Because I was like squirming in my seat. It was just horrible. If you've ever had jock itch, it's terrible. It's terrible. Hey, Element Alpha. Oh, you got to see it sometime. It's a must see. It's like NBC. It's must see TV. Highly recommend watching it at least once.
Yeah.
No, that's their slogan, dipshit. You don't know that because you're from Venezuela.
I don't know that either. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's what their promo tagline was. NBC, must see television. And they did it with that voice. And in the end, the footy gets the headline. Put your own hair in cut your own hair incompetence pants. It's hilarious. Yeah. Billy is one of my
end, that was funny.
Is in my top 10 list of favorite comedians of all time. Shecky Green is in there too. And a lot of people don't know who the fuck that is.
I don't.
It's because of the Ed Sullivan Show. Because my dad, I watched the Ed Sullivan Show religiously as a kid. He's an American comedian, actor, and he's been on the Tonight Show, but got his start really on Ed Sullivan. Another comedian got in trouble on Ed Sullivan's show and got blacklisted for an accident because while he was doing his routine, he was nervously had his hands behind his back and was nervously fidgeting his fingers, and apparently Ed Sullivan thought he was flipping him off on that side of the stage and banned him from the show. And he's like, I didn't do that, not knowingly. The Man Who Sued God with Billy is pretty good. I feel bad for him because he's slowly losing his ability, and you can see it, that the disease is progressing. I don't know Alf Garnett. Never heard that one. Community is a great series. It is. Back when NBC could still put out good comedy.
And then
comedy.
Was Chevy Chase in that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was funny on that show, but he kept pissing people off by saying shit about the show. Terrible writing.
Say he's a dick. You know, he's not going to last long on anything. So
now, a lot of people are unaware that in the 5th season, the creator got fired, and that 5th season is so weird because he was gone, the co-creator of Rick and Morty. I don't know shit about Dan Harmon. I don't want to know things about people, their personal lives anymore.
Yeah,
because odds are I'm not going to like shows, and I don't want to ruin shows that I like. There, he really looks like Jean Reno in that one shot just now.
Yep.
Alf Garnett is the character Archie Bunker was based on. Oh, from Man of the House. Yeah. Senior Chang, I think that's the Korean actor, comedian, also a medical doctor. And that's what he did to pay the bills until his comedy career took off. Even when he returned for a cameo, Chevy was banned from the Sony lot, so they had to
What?
film it separately. Yeah, he
Damn.
off. You know, Kevin Smith, back when I liked him, went to have dinner with him because he was wanting to do Fletch, bring Fletch back. And Kevin says he basically said that he created comedy and just turned him off.
What?
His ego turned Kevin Smith off. But this is back before Kevin started doing all the crying and the selling out.
The
Back when he
sellout
was still-
prior version?
Yeah, the minute he sold out, man, I couldn't stand him anymore. He's just such a repugnant person now.
He is.
Boone. And when I hear his name, I think the Tick. Boone. What the fuck does he yell that?
He was the best character of this movie.
He really was. A best side character. I don't know who the fuck he is as an actor. Guy did a solid job as this character.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And something I've never seen in a werewolf movie. He had a fist fight, a successful fist fight.
Fucking
werewolf.
He was out of weapons, and he goes, "Fuck it," and he just goes at this fucking werewolf. It kills him, but fuck it. He went out fighting. I love that.
Yeah.
And that was originally, by the way, was supposed to happen to Parker in Alien. It's in the book, the novelization, that he hurts the alien. And he's the only human there that could have, because he's so fucking big and powerful.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it says that as he squeezed the alien before it plunged its inner jaw into his head, that he felt the cracking of ribs.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, fuck yeah. That'll teach you to be an exoskeleton, motherfucker.
Right. Ho.
Yeah, your skin bleeds
Yes,
acid, but your bones don't.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Just that whole thing. You know, he became a J.J. Abrams acolyte. And that's when I stopped respecting it. It was when he was making that show for AMC, behind the scenes show that he did with the guy from Heroes, who is J.J. Abrams' best friend. He was in the show Heroes. He played the cop with superpowers.
Yeah.
Heavyset cop. He is J.J. Abrams' best friend from childhood and still best friend.
Really?
That's why he's in Star Wars. He's actually in anything J.J. Abrams makes. Yeah, he does. He goes out absolutely like a boss. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Hope I give you the shits, you wimp.
I hope I give you the shit.
I love when he
That's
goes
the
into
line
the
of the movie.
basement. When he goes down into the cellar. And fuck, man. Fuck. All those bodies down there. And he finally realizes, two things. One, everybody was a werewolf involved with this house. Two, someone's still eating down here because these are fresh kills.
Yeah.
And that's when he has the run in.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre moment of the movie.
Now,
It is.
Yeah.
there's that line of the I give you the shits. To me, it's a callback to that zombie movies in where the guy screams, "I hope you choke on me."
Yeah, I know. I hope I give you the shits. Great fucking lines. Her playing piano is really weird.
We're tiny.
Yeah. I mean, if you're trying to not stir them up, why would you make so much damn noise? I don't get it,
It's
man.
like I get
I
that
really
they're
don't
trying.
get it.
She's trying to calm down or calm them down, but it's just
it's
weird.
weird.
Weird. Weird.
Oh, touche.
I
Well-
learned Lee Carlson. Learn about your enemies, and I consider him an enemy of good entertainment after 2008. Pre-2008, I could have said some nice things about him. After 2008 and they began production on Star Trek, I knew we were going to have problems. I'm like, he doesn't like Star Trek. He's a Star Wars nerd.
Yeah, he
Everybody's
treated that as
bullshit.
a Star Wars audition doing Star
Well, that's
Trek.
what he
Well,
turned
to-
into. Captain Kirk is Han Solo.
Mhm.
To be honest, and I have a hot take. Everybody always give me shit every time I say this, but I don't care. Lost is dog shit. I don't understand why people.
After season one was the only enjoyable season. I just really wasn't interested in it though. It's like I finished the season. I'm like, okay, yeah, not bad, not great. But then they lost their fucking minds. That's what the show is. It's not lost. It's lost their fucking minds.
I remember. But it was in between the fourth and the fifth season. A friend of mine was hell bent in make me watch the show, and I'm asking what is the show about. Well, there's this thing in an island, but nobody knows what is happening. So you have been watching a show for 4 years, and you don't know what it
Don't
is
know what's
about.
going on.
Martin, common people wants to fight you. Now, fight me, Martin.
I never watched it. Never did watch it. But when I heard how it ended, I was like, man, I'd have been pissed if I'd been watching that show the whole time.
And then they gave us the Game of Thrones.
Right?
That ending is even worse, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, season 7 and 8 in particular are the worst. Season
Oh, it
6 had
started.
problems.
It
But
started with
7,
6, yeah.
see, 6 is where it started. 7 just off the rails, 8 just garbage. I will never watch those last 3 seasons ever again.
They are
We'll be the judge of that,
unwatchable.
right?
This
finishing,
this is the
but,
problem.
Yeah,
They
I know.
believe they're infallible.
Which was guessed early on by the fandom. And they kept going, no, and they would do these other things and doing those things, and then they inevitably still go back to the original idea that they were dead all
Common
along.
people
now-
says they weren't dead.
Arguing.
It's like I said at the time, oh, somebody watched The Sixth Sense. Great. God damn it. I miss Craig so much. Just one of my dearest, oldest friends, my former boss, Craig Zwiner. And god damn it, I went to see that with him and his family, Sixth Sense. And Craig sat next to me because we like to whisper at each other during the movie. Oh, this is going to happen. And when I turned to him, right when he grabs the doorknob
Mhm.
in still the first act, after the bleeding, getting shot in the belly, and then you see him walk around and she's not talking to him, but then he walks over to the fucking door and tries to open it. And the way that Shyamalan chose to shoot just at the doorknob so you couldn't see below it, I'm like, he's dead. And I leaned over to my boss and I said, he's dead. That's why he can't open it. It's either locked or he's not actually turning the knob. So he can't go in. He's dead. And Craig's like, oh, whatever. And then at the end of the movie, he's like, how do you do that? I went, I don't know. I have a writer's mind. And I immediately figure out where things are going to go when I'm watching something. Oh, wait,
Yeah,
what's
I knew
this?
That's one of the most overrated movies in the world to me. I mean, it's decent, but I mean, I figured it out quick too. I was like, dude, he's dead, you know?
Yeah, like I actually like this idea. I like that. That's funny.
We have we have pissed off the wrong crowd.
Yeah. We're in trouble now.
Uh-oh. Well, we like you, Common. We like you. You don't have to like us. Although it
I
would
never
help.
watched Lost, but you know, hey.
I enjoyed season 1. But I didn't think it was the best thing I'd ever seen. I was irritated at the smog monster thing. It was just, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it was just, to me, it was that typical thing that JJ likes to do where he creates things that go nowhere. what he refers to as the empty box. And I told somebody, a fellow screenwriter friend of mine, when he said that, I said, that only works one time,
Right?
It's
Can't
just
do
one
it every
time.
time.
You
Yeah.
can't keep doing it. That's bad storytelling if you keep using the same device. And that's what he's about. For some reason, he thinks good storytelling requires devices and plot. And you can have a story without a plot, a great story. They're some of the greatest films ever made. They have a theme, not a plot.
Mhm.
You have to have a theme, but you do not have to have a plot. You can have a story without a plot, but you can't have a plot without a story. And this is the weakness of J.J. Abrams, where he fell apart for a lot of people, not just me. I know, like, I love his first screenplay. I still do. It's a good movie. Harrison Ford, Regarding Henry.
I liked Regarding Henry. I have
I
to admit
kind
that.
of enjoyed his series. I just forgot the name of it, with Ben Affleck's ex-wife.
Jennifer Garner?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yes.
spy series.
Oh, yeah,
Spies.
Alias.
Yes. Alias.
I enjoyed 2 seasons of it before I stopped watching. I enjoyed Fringe.
Yeah.
I still enjoy Fringe because I'm still not
Fringe
finished
is
with the
good. I
series.
enjoyed that one. Alias, I didn't even make it through the first season of that. It just
But something happened to JJ after 2008, and he became lazy and then became an activist for his wife.
Till WEF got to him.
This is so fascinating. The same thing happened with Kevin Smith, his wife. She's a big neo-feminist. Neo-feminists are problematic. I know classic old school feminists that don't like neo-feminism. It's like they refer to it
Oh, Cam is.
bastardizing.
That's a good one, Cam.
Absolutely true, Cam. Absolutely. He is the empty box. And once you learn the magic trick, it's no longer magic. I love this final battle, man. It's just the two of them. The bathroom scene, and when they find the skeleton. You guys remember that?
Yes,
Mhm.
the
There's a
skeleton
skeleton
in
in
the
the
closet.
floorboard. Yeah, in the
Yeah.
floorboard.
Yeah. Yeah, their fight to survive at the end of this is crazy, man. He's digging through drywall and all kinds of shit to
Yeah.
get away from these things. Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
they deserve it for being stupid idiot. I mean, they have the fucking guy they know is a werewolf and they don't kill him. And they have everything happening and they don't see anything. They don't see the flags on shit. They
Yeah,
deserve it.
they absolutely should have been more aware of things. I saw something about Danger Close. What was that?
This one.
Okay, I just saw that you covered Danger Close. Oh yeah, a few months ago. Too bad I missed that one. Well, you can go back and watch it, Alpha. They're still available.
I missed that one too.
I watch old videos at usually 2 speed, but sometimes just 1.5. 1.5 fast, because I want to make sure, like, if somebody like is got a sense of humor, it's harder to catch the joke. If you're going double speed, it's easier to catch it at 1.5. Kevin and Dave Filoni need to get away from these witches. Absolutely. Filoni, I've never liked Filoni. Never. I never gave 2 shits about that guy. I knew he was trouble when he and what's his name started working together with Star Wars, because he writes at a 4th grade level, and it's what bugs me. Everything is written so simply that a 4th grader could follow it.
Then you should
Yeah.
stick to cartoons.
And boy, her eyes are lopsided. They're like,
I thought
I
the chick
think
was
she's-
cute in this, man.
I think
I
she's
don't-
pretty.
oh, she is pretty, but because you reverse it, you can see the flaw in her face. It's less noticeable when it's normal way around. The girl from
Oh,
Beverly Hills
Banksman girl is here.
90210 that just died. Hey, Vinkman's girl. The girl from 90210 that died recently from her cancer. It's just
Shannon
sad.
Doherty.
Yes.
But there was a great joke about her about 20 years ago. So someone goes, Shannon Doherty? Yeah, I think she's pretty. Looks like half her face is trying to escape.
I don't get it.
I fucking blew snot when I laughed at that. I fucking blew snot
That's a
out of
good
my
one,
nose.
man. That's a good
I
one.
laughed so fucking hard. That is
Foxy
such a brutal fucking joke, but it's
Yeah.
funny as hell. But I don't like talking ill of the dead because,
No.
man,
No.
it's sad.
Foxy is a huge Charmed fan. I've watched the entire season, the entire run of that show over and over again, and I never have liked her character. I called her Prude.
Which actor was
instead
it
of
that
Prue.
was a bitch on that set that caused the recasting?
Me.
Which one was it?
And Doherty.
Was it
Everybody
Shannon?
that said hated
Yeah,
her.
It was
Yeah.
her. Yeah. They killed her
Boy,
off.
I
and
sure
replaced her with
hate
Rose
talking
McGowan.
ill of the dead, but boy, yeah, apparently she was a real bitch.
Yeah, she's a pain.
Look who's here! Tim!
Tim,
Here you go.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me
Tim?
Here, I'll give you your fanfare, buddy.
Dude, you're
I say-
late.
Yes.
I said
you-
hi to them with explosions.
and for those of you in the UK watching right now, this is Kevin McKidd too.
All our deed. If he was a wee bit closer, I could lob a caber at him, kin.
How thick is your brogue when even your fellow Scotsmen don't know what the fuck you just said?
I love that he can do that.
You know, the girl that I had the crush on the show, if you can even call it a crush, was the bitch.
It's not working. Shoot. There it goes.
Well, Alyssa Milano's out of her fucking gourd. Now,
Oh, man,
I will
come
tell
on.
you, the only thing that really sucks about this film for me is that because of the budget, we got no actual transformations. It was always like when Liam has where you see a mid transformation, then he drops down behind the table. And
Yeah,
it's such a
it's-
chintzy thing when you're doing a werewolf film to not
Yeah,
to
and
get
instead it
the
cuts
speed.
and all you see is the table, and you know something's going on down there. But yeah. Mhm.
Even though these werewolves
Look at
remind me
that, man. They had to-
of the werewolves from The Howling.
Yeah.
They're very similar in style. And but I got to tell you, Rob Bottin only did one wrong thing in that movie, was the excessive use of bladders in the face.
Yeah.
The whole pumping just was ridiculous. Now, Rick Baker, who taught him, did the same thing because he was the original effects guy for The Howling, but had to leave because they greenlit American Werewolf. So he put handed the job over to Rob Bottin.
Mhm.
And Rob did a fantastic job based off the original ideas, and that's why there's so many similarities between the two werewolves. But Rick Baker was aware of what they were doing on The Howling, and he told Landis that they should do a four-legged werewolf. And that's why that's different.
And that's why it's
But
so
they did some of the
badass.
facial effects
Wow.
the same way.
Oh,
Well, they did the facial stretching effects exactly the same way.
yeah.
Ah, that's the one. Okay, I got
Look at
to
that
get
dog.
back.
Poor doggy. But Doggy survives along with Kevin McKidd.
Yep.
The two
Yep.
of them are the ones that walk away. Come on,
Yeah.
this is the big Spoon getting into a fist fight.
Fist
The
fight.
dog just annoyed me when he went for that dude's bandage around his belly. That was like, ew, don't do that.
Well, I'm glad he did. But Anima asked me something else.
There it
about-
is. That's the line.
Give you the shit, you fucking wimp.
Yeah.
I would have said mutt. You fucking mutt. The
Oh,
dog
little-
just watches. He's a witness to all of this.
What
Poor
question
dog
did I
got
ask?
That dog had seen some
PTSD
serious shit,
regarding
man.
the packing of the wound and everything.
Oh, that, yeah.
And I told her, I said they should have packed that with some sulfur or
Yeah,
something.
because he just packs it and
Sulfamides
back in and bandages it. And that's like, he's
used to be
gonna die
used
from
on the
infection.
combat field for major injuries and wounds. They would pack it with sulfamide. The reason why, because it was antibacterial. It would kill anything except the human. And so when you see like Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers, that you see somebody get wounded and you see them suddenly packing the wound with powder, that powder is a sulfamide. And in that given situation, that's what I would have done. If I had to repack his intestines back into him, that stuff's been exposed outside the body, I would have absolutely packed it with
But they didn't
sulfamide.
have that in that situation.
Combat soldiers should have that.
Yeah.
It's part of your basic medical pack.
Where do
Every
I
Also,
soldier carried it.
he's watching her when she's gluing him together, and I'm like, shouldn't the soldier do that? He has the training to do that. Why
Well,
is
if
the
she's
woman
got
treating-
more medical training, let her do it. She is a biologist.
Gerry,
And his hand were shaking because of the adrenaline pump. That's why
Yeah.
he told her, I have too much adrenaline. You do it.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
Gerry,
I really
what-
like when the other guy gets drunk and he looks at his belly and says like sausages. That was
Sorry,
so-
there is nothing to repeat.
Yes.
What was that, Joe?
What film was it where they showed him using that powder? Was it Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
First
It's
one.
It's a coagulant, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's during the battle. You see it the
Mhm.
first time
Mhm.
at the beginning of the film.
I thought they used it on the guy that got taken out by the machine gun nest when they took that on too.
They do that
The
there.
medic.
Is
Didn't they use it on him too?
They thought they were going on also. And you know what? I got to tell you something. This is not how combat exercises are done.
No.
You have typically A team, B team, blue. You have the aggressors and the ones who are actually being trained. They're having the combat training, and they're blue team. Red team is always aggressors, and that's how you do team. That's why Southern Comfort makes no sense. That's why this movie, when you do the basic breakdown of how they ended up in a situation, you know.
The scene I hate in Southern Comfort, and I know you're going to agree with me with this, is when they're at the rally point and those guys are firing off their weapons like they're at the fucking range.
Yeah, I know.
with
Nobody
maps.
does that.
I'm
You will
like,
get
what
smoked.
the fuck are these
You
guys
will be
doing?
smoked. You do that.
Yeah.
You discharge that weapon. And it's the thing that always bugs me when they show National Guard. They always show them as like hillbillies that don't know what
Yeah.
the fuck they're doing. It's like they're trained from the same fucking army.
They're trained the same way at the same posts that regular army is. Now, when I was in it back in the 80s, they were the weekend warriors were kind of lax. Okay. I had to teach them about light discipline.
Well, that's
when
where
we
you
were in the
have
field.
these guys, but that's
Yeah.
bad command. That's
Yeah.
poor command when
Yeah.
you see that.
But their mission has
And-
totally changed now. They get deployed just as much as the regular army does now. It's
Absolutely.
ridiculous.
They refer to it as the backdoor draft.
Yep.
Where they activate Army Reserve and Army National Guard
Mhm.
to go to these scenes. I love this scene, by the way. The whole thing, cutting the hose and
Yeah.
setting everything up. And I'm like, well, how's he going to light it? You know, because of the matches earlier, there were no matches left. And uses the electrical
Yep.
spark from the gas stove. And I'm like, much better. I like that.
That was
Fireworks.
clever.
At last, thank you, Shinatsky. At last, I can round the clip.
You
Here
can do
we
that when
go.
Gerry backdoors himself, you know that.
Backdoor secure.
There you go. Thank you.
And by the way, at this point, he's changing
Yeah.
mid the explosion. And by the way, they did not blow up the actual cottage. That is a
It's a
miniature.
miniature.
There
Thank
is
God.
a large explosion they did, and they destroyed the shed, which was, by the way, she tricked them. The werewolves were not in the shed. So they put all that effort into blowing up that shed, and the werewolves were never there. She lied.
Oh yes, you're talking about Saving
Yeah,
Private
he's
Ryan.
last man in the stack. I have been in stacks, and I have been involved in breaches, but I'm the first four guys are the ones who are handling what's going on. I was always fifth man in the stack because they wanted to make sure we had regular combat guys in front of me. But because my sergeant liked me, he would let me stack up because he knew that I was a grunt and I was the best shot in the company.
I don't
I was
remember.
also better than once I went permanent party, I was better fighter physically, fighting hand to hand than anybody in my company. Even more because I threw my sergeant. I threw his ass. He went to do something and I disarmed and threw him. And he's like, fuck, show me what you just did. And we did. We did martial arts training together. My sergeant, Tom Parker. Tom Parker and I hung out on weekends. He for quite a while, he was my best friend in the Army, my own sergeant. And I'm still friends with him to this day. I love him. Him and Eugene Tevez, my sergeants. And Eugene was more soft-spoken guy. He would say something to you, and you better fucking do it. And when I got ranked up, he was the one who gave me my rank pin. He gave it to me Ranger style, putting it on my lapel and hammering it in with his fist, so it went through my flesh, and it nicked the bone.
Ouch.
It nicked the bone, my
Why
collarbone.
do you do that?
I only got to do it because he fucking liked me. Because, despite being in a medical unit, my two sergeants were both Army Rangers, Airborne Rangers. And they just liked me because I was different than the other medics. I would fuck around. And I remember in school, like a teacher, Neil Marshall did a great job on this film, by the way. I like Neil Marshall. And yeah, Critical Drinker did a great interview with him. By the way, these
like
photos,
that.
what
Yeah.
they're showing at the end here is to let you know that he shared those photos, because every single time she flashed her camera, she took a photo.
I thought she was trying to blind them with that flash.
Yes,
He was. But the only way to do that is to trigger the flash through the camera. So every single time she had to take a photo.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a neat little point to show at the end here after that hilarious fucking newspaper article where it says the main headline. There it is. The main headline is England 5, Germany 1. Oh, sub-story.
Yeah.
Werewolves ate my platoon.
Was it Spoon that was worried about the football score? Was it Spoon that was worried about it?
Yes. No. Spoon. No, Terry, I think.
Okay.
Oh, was it Terry? I thought it was Spoon that brought it up.
No.
But
this is World War II all over again is really the joke.
Right.
It's World War II all over again.
Yeah. We're gonna bury the lead. Right. Yeah.
The makeup effects are really good. So all their budget, the 2.3 million, I think it was, went into the film, a little bit into the actors, but mostly into the minimal effects, because this was basically a sci-fi channel movie budget they shot on.
Yeah.
No CG. Yeah. Oh, the original Tom Parker, yeah, was a colonel. Colonel Tom Parker, and he was never a colonel, allegedly. Yeah,
no. Allegedly a colonel. Yeah,
and he wasn't even American.
No. Mm-mm. Have you seen that?
I wish they had done a sequel.
Could have been good.
Yeah, the dog was the mastermind.
Louisiana State Guard? Really? Wow. That's something I didn't know. But I mean,
I didn't know he did anything like that.
Elvis started his career here, actually across the river from me at the Louisiana Hayride over in Shreveport. Yeah. So if he was he was in the state guard. No. Wow. Of course, it's believable. I mean, our state, if it's known for anything, it's nepotism and corruption, no doubt. We are the state of Edwin Edwards, and Huey P. Long. So,
Yeah, Huey P. Long.
hey, at least we're out front with it. You know what I mean? They don't hide it.
I do like the bandage scene with super glue because that was not a commonly known thing at the time.
Now, I was going to ask, is that a fact? Was that developed to secure wounds on the battlefield? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's amazing to me. That's you know what? Some of the greatest advancements we've ever made.
They called it liquid stitch.
Yeah.
It was called
they used
liquid
that on
stitch.
me when I hit my head and split it open. They used that on me. And the young assistant doctor got all excited about getting to do stitches. And the nurse looked at me and said, like, we can just do that together. And he sat back down in his corner, all disappointed. I was like, fantastic. No needles. Great.
And by the way, one of the cool things Neil Marshall did with this film was he hired dancers to play the werewolves rather than stuntmen.
There you go.
Because
people that know how to exaggerate
to understand movement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
okay.
Also,
we have somebody new.
Special shoes.
Another new viewer. I don't get exactly what does this mean, but
the popcorn monger. Well,
like
you know who got your closet dick sucking son at least. What?
Yeah, I'm at loss, but welcome.
Welcome to the show. Iraq didn't want to go through detox in a level 7 close-up from cicada they found aimed in Vang Bang. Here's the video.
I still don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He or she.
I'm looking at Neil Marshall's.
He didn't even get off the tarmac. Now, my unit, when I joined the 308th Med Ambulance out in Cali, our unit was at McClellan Air Force Base. We were right off the tarmac.
Every time you mentioned McClellan Air Force Base, I think of Fort McClellan, the place I took my basic and AIT at. It's closed. It's in northern Alabama, around Anniston.
Shenatski's had lost too.
What I think is going on, I think he is behind, and he's watching something, and so my brain doesn't grasp a lot of the stuff that we just done. Like, I always get mad because I'll say something fucked up and funny, and an hour later, when I want to write it down, I can't remember it, and I'm like, God damn it, that was fucking funny,
Right.
But occasionally, I'll remember to write stuff down that I said.
Usually you ask me to write it down, Gerry.
Now, by the way, what the reason why my brother Steve ended up in the military was he was huffing glue, model glue, and he lost his fucking mind. And my parents came home and found him throwing me around the house, which I have no memory of. And I was told that I don't have memory of it because I remember that time period. I don't remember this incident, that I was so traumatized that I wiped it out of my memory. But I sometimes feel like they were lying to me because I have zero memory of it. And he got arrested. And even though he was 17, not quite 18, the judge gave him a choice that he would turn 18 soon enough. So you have a choice. Either you're going to jail for a while or you can join the military. And he chose to join the military. My dad told him, do not join the Marine Corps. Said this to my mother because she was the one that was going to take him. He's like, do not join him into the Marine Corps because he will 100% go to Vietnam.
Right.
In the Army, he's got a 50% chance being deployed elsewhere or even staying stateside, and 50% chance going to Vietnam. Navy, it's about a 20% chance of going to Vietnam. Air Force, 10%. So Air Force or Navy is what my dad said. When he came home from work that evening, my mom said, oh, I signed him up into the Marine Corps. And he's like, why? And she goes, oh, I love their uniform.
Oh,
True story.
my God.
So my brother went to boot and was then immediately deployed to Vietnam. He did his 14 weeks of training. You're getting the VA emails. Your spec weapon needs to be turned into. Yeah. Because you have an armor in charge of those weapons. I know what he's talking about here.
Gerry, take a look at the private chat, please. Doo-doo-doo.
One, the name right above it.
I don't know. So popcorn. What's your favorite military movie?
I was looking at the IMBD here, man, and Neil Marshall's worked on some good stuff, bro.
Yeah, I told you.
Really has. Black Sails, Game of Thrones, Constantine. The one I wish they'd have kept going. That was a cool series. Hannibal, the television series. He worked on that one.
I loved Hannibal.
Westworld, the one on HBO. Lost in Space for Netflix. He did a lot of episodic television. Apparently.
11 Alpha, I was a conscientious objector going into the Army, volunteering. And that's why I became a medic. Because I'm a patriot first, conscientious objector second. And I told my sergeant, at first I told him, I said, I will only carry a sidearm. And it led to a funny situation with our first sergeant. Because during formation, he proclaimed best shot in the fucking company is a fucking pacifist. And I'm like, I'm the best shot in the company.
I'm not a pacifist.
Are you talking about me? I'm not a pacifist. And then all of a sudden, I like put my hand up, during formation, and first sergeant pointed at me. I'm first platoon, so I'm out front on the end because I'm squad leader. And I have my hand up, and he says, what do you want, private? And I said, you said pacifist. You're referring to me. He says, yes. And I said, I'm not a pacifist, first sergeant. He's like, well, what are you? I said, I'm a conscientious objector. And he says, what's the difference? I said, if with a pacifist, if you walk up to them and slap them, they'll offer you the other cheek. If you stab them, they'll just go, thank you, and hug you while you continue stabbing them. I'm not. I said, if you pull a knife on me, I will fucking make a canoe out of your head and then sleep the sleep of the righteous that night. Pacifist. Fuck you, Shinoski.
In the middle of the story, I read that. I was like, oh my God, man. That's funny. Oh.
Yeah, I can see that. 11 Alpha. I can see that make things complicated at home.
Gerry?
I'm reading.
Yeah.
He's got that inquisitive dog look. He cocks his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, is he broken?
He is
now?
into something.
What's happening?
He is into something.
I know what's happening. I know. He's trying to figure that thing.
I gave up on that.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
a,
Bye-bye.
yeah,
Bye-bye.
that is a script. That is about
It's absolutely because didn't answer my question.
Whammo.
It
Gotcha.
just
Wasn't
kept
interacting
making
at all.
random
Yeah.
comments, filthy
Yep.
comments. And I got a feeling that maybe some of those comments were trying to get us in trouble.
yep.
Could
Yeah,
be.
They are fishing. They are fishing.
Sucking a dick in the closet was one of them. I'm like, you're absolutely trying to get us.
Troll or a bot.
Oh, we had some of them pulled up though, right?
I did BCT at Fort Dix, or as we refer to it, Fort Dixneyland. They closed the base down.
Did they?
Fort Dix got shut down.
New Jersey?
It's New
Isn't that it?
Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where most of the females went for training in the military or in the army. It's Fort Dix.
I know San
It
Antonio
figures.
is where all the nurses went for the AIT. Every MP in the world wanted to go to San Antonio, man. They all wanted to go to
San
Sam
Antonio was the shit, and that's where I went to AIT.
Yeah. Isn't it Sam Houston? Isn't that the name of it?
There's this great moment when two of the guys walked up to me that were in my squad. They said, "Yo, Kesson, man, we gonna go out this weekend? I want to try to meet some girls." I said, "You don't have to wait till the weekend. This is the
They're all
highest
over.
highest number of females in the military right here, right now." I said, "The only way you can't get laid here is if you're ugly, retarded, or very gay."
You know, every place I served in the military is closed now too, except for Hood. That's the only one that's still open. McClellan closed down.
It started under Clinton, the
Mhm.
shutting down of these bases. Classic
Yeah.
bases, man. Fort Dix was one of them that suffered under Clinton. Another one was San Francisco with the
Presidio.
Presidio.
The Presidio.
They
I
shut it
served
down.
there for 3 months and it's gone. Johnson Island, of course, is a big piece of coral now. They leveled all the buildings. You can't even land a plane out there. The only way you can get there is by sea. 750 miles southwest of Hawaii. Trying to think. Hood's always going to be open. It's the largest armored post in the free world.
You know your army when somebody says that last sentence.
Those guys were pretty low speed, high drag. Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
Low speed, high drag, man. That's
That's
army
it.
slang. It's
That
not military slang, it's army slang.
That is it. But yeah, the Presidio. No, Fort Shafter, Hawaii, I think is still open. I think that one's still open. I'll have to check and see. But I was there for 3 months, and then the Presidio for 3 months when I was getting out. But yeah, every other place, McClellan, Johnston Atoll, the Presidio. Yeah, they're all closed. There's a
And you
big
pronounce
class
that
action
weird-
lawsuit for the
weirdly
folks
for
at
me.
McClellan too.
It took me a second to understand what you even said, and what you're saying we pronounce as the atoll.
Yeah.
You said it
Atoll.
atoll. You said atoll.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Mhm.
Tomato, tomato,
Oh.
tomate.
Exactly.
well,
Potato.
I was
Yeah.
taught to pronounce the A.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You were saying it as and I'm saying it as A.
Yeah.
Fort Shafter is still open.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought that one might be. They were actually filming oh god, the Magnum PI on that fort a lot. I saw that red car driving around there all the time. Yep.
So the one that I was hoping to finally get to see, and I've never been to Hawaii. I almost went, and I mean I was close, and was Schofield or Schofield, as some people say.
Schofield Barracks on the north side. Yeah. I used to have to go pick guys up to put them on a plane to go to Johnson Atoll. Yeah. Gary, you're going to love this, though. I wish I'd have had my camera with me because back then we didn't have phones, folks. You couldn't just whip out a phone and take pictures. But I actually saw the cast, William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, the whole bunch on the street in San Francisco filming The Voyage Home when I was in a van going to a mission. We were driving
down
through
by the
downtown.
river.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was cool. I
I'm
flipped out. I was
slowly
like,
going
"Holy
through and
shit!"
deleting all these. I'm deleting this bot's comments.
No. You don't need to.
Why?
They on YouTube they were
They're
all
gone
deleted
on
all
YouTube.
at once.
Oh, when I
Yeah,
banned
bro.
him. Okay.
You
Yep.
wiped him out. Yeah. But yeah, we actually drove past him at that intersection where he's. It's the scene where they're giving out. He's giving out the instructions and the money, right? Where everybody's going to go, and they split up right there at that intersection. They were filming that day, when we drove past it. It was pretty cool. Pretty
Well,
neat
I
to
was
see.
I hope it was worth the stop by, Gwen. It's always good to see you in the chat. First season of Tour of Duty was filmed at Schofield Barracks. They cut costs and moved to California for the second season.
Yeah, it's in. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gary. It's on the northwest side of Hano, I think. Pretty sure. I know it was a 40-minute drive from Shafter to Schofield. I used to have to drive it in one of those panel vans the Army had, to pick up people.
I actually got a date for the weekend of graduation from Basic with a permanent party female. And I met her because we would go to the bowling alley there at Fort Leonard Wood. And
Fort Lawson Woods?
Great bowling. Oh my God, they had a great bowling alley.
Yeah.
Right, Teddy. It's just around the corner from the main movie theater. And good God, man, bowling. And I'd meet those girls at permanent party. And I'm like this giant fucking human being. You can't miss me across the room. I'm standing above everybody. And females would come over, talk to me. I'm like, hey, what's up? Hi. Hey. I already had my rank on my shoulder, but I didn't have my unit patch yet. So you could tell I was still a trainee.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not allowed to wear your unit patches during training. You get caught with that shit, you will get fucking kicked the shit out of by your cadre. They will kick your fucking ass. Put your fucking unit patch on. You don't belong to anybody yet.
Mm-hmm.
We might kick you.
You might not be here the whole duration.
Some fucking recruit got his patches from his unit, got too excited, fucking put him on his uniform during boot, and you don't fucking do that. I agree with you on Tour of Duty. It's a very underrated show. It's a show I brought up. Don and I have talked about it because we talked about China Beach, which was better known, but Tour of Duty was a very good show. I thought it was better, in my opinion, because it was more about the soldiers.
They came out about the same time, didn't they, Gary?
It was the late 80s, yeah. So, but Dog Soldiers should have gotten their sequel. I wish they had.
Yeah, it's
I do want to
fun.
go.
I checked my brain early.
You have to.
I checked my brain early.
Like this.
I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if this was going to be a serious one or not. And sure enough, it went the way of a trauma film. And I was like, okay, here we go.
It doesn't take long though to figure that out.
No, not at all.
The werewolf
The thing
costumes
is-
were pretty good, even though they were sparse of fur on the body. And
Yep.
I'm not a fan of the hairless werewolves like they used in Underworld. Underworld, I'm just like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is that?
Neither am I. It's a fucking werewolf.
But
It has to-
they gave him
it
a
has to have
huge
fur.
mane. They did give him a huge mane. Again, it's budgetary reasons is why there wasn't fur all over the body. So it's got a lot of good stuff in this film. It's not what I would call a great movie, but it's a fun movie. If you get a chance to see Dog Soldiers, you should. I want to get some trivia here on it again. Some Goose, too. Let's go to Goose. When Ryan holds his automatic to Cooper's head, by the way, I'm getting ready to go on a soapbox.
Okay. Here
I
we go.
follow a lot of channels, okay, from entertainment to military to pro Second Amendment web, YouTube channels, and just I will go to them, and when I hear somebody who is a proponent of the Second Amendment refer to the words semi-automatic, nothing fucking makes my blood boil more than a pro Second Amendment person saying semi-automatic. I said, first of all, you're saying you know a lot about weapons, okay? It's called an automatic because of the fact it auto loads. Has nothing to do with the firing mechanism. It has to do with the loading mechanism. That's why it's called an automatic pistol. Semi-automatic is a misnomer that came from the fact that you have a selector switch in the military from full automatic, which is a different meaning. Full automatic deals with the firing of the weapon. To semi, in some of the weapons, 3-shot burst, and then safe. But because people who don't know guns, weapons, start referring to them as semi-auto with pistols. And it's like, don't do that. It's an automatic pistol.
It is an automatic pistol. Yes,
It's not
it
a fully
automatically
automatic
loads when you
pistol,
fire
which is a
a
different
round.
meaning. An
Yes.
automatic pistol means it auto loads. And nothing tells me that you're a dipshit or an ignorant fuck. And twice this weekend, I went to Second Amendment YouTube channels, and I said, why do you keep referring to pistols as semi-automatic? I said, I thought you knew something about guns. It's an automatic pistol because it auto loads, not because of the rate of fire or the fact that it can fire multiple shots with the squeezing of
You
one
can't
trigger.
put a hand pit. Well, I think they make a couple of pistols that go full auto.
Oh, they do. The Russians were the first ones to do it.
But when you're talking about a 45 caliber pistol, you're talking about
an
something
automatic
that's
pistol.
automatic. Yeah, that's an automatic pistol. It's not semi-automatic. It's an automatic pistol. It automatically loads. The only
So
time
once
you use
again,
the
this
semi
isn't
is
just
when
from
something. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not just because of the military. I grew up, I was raised around firearms and learned proper safety as a kid. The first thing that my dad gave me a chance to fire, because we went hunting one weekend, was a 12 gauge. And he didn't want me shooting it, but he didn't want to tell me no. So, and my cousin Larry, or Gomer, as we call him, was like, oh, let him fire it, Gerry. It's my dad. And my dad says, okay, but let me show you how it works. And he went over there and he exaggerated the kick of the 12 gauge. And it scared me because I think I was 10 or 11 at the time. And he says, there you go, buddy. You want to fire that? I went, oh, no, it's okay. Okay, I'm good. And pussied out because my dad did that on purpose. It was smart because I shouldn't have fired that weapon at that age. I should have been firing a 20 gauge.
You probably would have hurt yourself.
Which is what I did.
Yeah.
Is no Anne Rice or Bram Stoker type figure for werewolf figure.
No.
I'm going to tell you something. Go read Wolfsbane. Let me see if I can find it. I'm friends with the author and his niece, who now runs it because he died. And she publishes books under his name because he gave her the right to finish some of his notes and to even continue off of ideas. And she's an amazing writer.
And Shanatsky, you can always read Stephanie Meyer.
Oh, I need to go to Facebook. I got to go to Facebook for this because there's a photo of me holding this book, and it got stolen. And she sent me a new one, and it was a signed copy from her uncle that he sent me, and to replace the one that got stolen. I think it's on that account.
Hey, Glenn is
Take care,
leaving.
Glenn.
Bye, Glenn. Take good care of yourself, brother. At some point, get a hold of me. Get a hold of me because I want to start moving forward next year with Operation Hound Dog. Operation Hound Dog is going to be a hell of a graphic novel.
Is it Elvis in the military, bro?
No, It starts at the very end of World War II, and it's the hunt for Hitler, based
wow.
on certain actual investigations that I learned about thanks to the show Hunting Hitler on History Channel.
Really? Wow.
Oh my God, what a show. Shit
Never
you
seen
not.
it.
I think the photo is in here. Let me get to profile pics. I think it's in profile pics. Let me see. I can find it. Matt McGuire. Oh, me with my gay hat. I actually had a gay hat. Gay colors on it.
Look out. A pride hat. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your Disney ears. Is that the one?
yes. Which is in the selection. I can do it right now.
My favorite werewolf will always be the American Werewolf in London. Love that one.
Yes, indeed.
I think it's the best one they ever put on film.
There we go.
Yes!
Look at that.
Yes! Nice. Oh man.
I gotta look, trying to find this right now. Posts.
But I've got no problem with the underworld werewolves. I think they're cool. Even though
Well, I didn't think they were very realistic.
Yeah.
And I know it's fantasy and all that shit.
People
Okay, I'm
turning
going to
into
take my
monsters.
headsets off
That's
because I'm not
realistic.
into this. I'm trying to find something. You guys are distracting me. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm a big fan of the underworld franchise. I dig it. We've gone to see every one of them in the theater. It's me and Foxy's guilty pleasure. That one and the Matrix bunch.
I didn't like it, but I'm happy that you enjoy it, man.
Oh,
I'm happy. I'm happy
Who
when
doesn't
people
like
enjoy
Kate
things.
Beckinsale in latex, man? Come on, bro.
Okay, that is
That's different,
very
right?
amenable. Yes, it is. But as a movie, as a story, I didn't like it.
Well, it's
I
Romeo
saw
and
the
Juliet. That's what it started out as. It's supposed
well.
to be
No,
Romeo and
I saw
Juliet.
the first movie. Yes, I saw the first
Two
movie, and I was
feuding families,
Mhm.
the Montagues and the Capulets.
Yes, exactly.
Here you go.
I never.
This is the book you need to read right here.
There you go.
This is written by William Johnstone, and I am friends with Joe Johnstone, his niece, who runs the publishing end of the family's books. So she continues, right? Because he is really a prolific Western writer. But he wrote that fucking book right there.
Yeah.
I read that, and I consider it to be the best werewolf book I've ever read. And it's a story about this guy, soldier in Vietnam, who has to bring his best friend home. He's part of that, what do they call that, hardship tour, where you have to go with the
365 days, they got to get you out of there. Yep. That's a hardship tour.
He escorts the body back to get to the family.
Okay. All right.
And so he escorts it there to Ducros, a fictional place in Louisiana. I brought this up to you. Ducros Parish, Louisiana. And then years later, after he's out of the military and he's working as a detective up in New York, he gets a phone call from his dead best friend from the army. So he goes down there to find out what's fucking going on here. And he investigates and finds out that there is a cult, a werewolf cult there. And his best buddy is not dead. He is a werewolf. And gets his whole backstory. And on top of that, the devil lives in Ducros Parish, Louisiana. It lives in the swamp. And he eventually confronts the devil in a scene. It's funny as hell. And because every time the devil speaks through the swamp, it bubbles. So he starts calling the devil Bubbles.
That's got to piss him off.
I laughed my ass off, and it had some of the scariest shit. And when I spoke to him about adapting it as a graphic novel, which we had meetings with the publisher and everything over. And it was just, how are we going to get the money, to do this? And we never got around to it. But I wrote one original scene into it, and Joe said, my uncle would have loved that. I wrote a scene out of my own fear of showers with closed curtains. I don't like them. And I always keep the curtain open. And since I was a kid, I don't like them. And it's because of Psycho. And that something could be hiding in that shower.
That's legit.
And in the film, not in the film, in the comic script I wrote a scene, 3 scenes in there where it's the setup that he's paranoid because he thinks something's behind that curtain. He throws it open with his pistol aimed at it, does it again. But the third time he does it, he's taking a piss and he looks and he goes, fuck, and he throws it open without a pistol in his hand. And this time there's something in the curtain, behind the curtain. It's a werewolf. And it ends up in a funny scene where also I added this and she liked it, where he is so fucking horrified of this thing that he runs between the beams through drywall.
Oof.
He's tackling, hitting the wall, and going to get away from this thing. He's trying to just go through the fuck going to a door. I'm making a hole. And she thought that was hilarious. And I did add one other thing, that the way he learns that they're werewolves, because I didn't like, I felt like it was kind of weak in the story, that is, he's in a Jeep and one of the werewolves leaps on top of his Jeep and puts its hand through the roof with its claws, that thin steel up there, puts his hand right through it. And he hits the brakes while that happens and it cuts the hand off. The werewolf goes and disappears in the night, but when he looks, the hand is human.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that was how he figures out what's going on. And I felt it was a better way to move the story forward. I was a writer. I've always been a writer. People think that I'm just an artist.
I think we need to.
I'm a better writer.
Stuff rocks, bro. Your stuff rocks. That's right.
Did you catch what I said?
No, I was reading what Shinatsky said. What?
Oh, I think we need to wrap it up.
Wrap it up? I'll take it.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
So, I want to thank Deleted Scenes, Josh Coe, Penny, Andy Morrow, Read by Nature, Glenn Fleming, Pacific 414, Scribe Light, Cam's Crash Courses, Common People, Adega Outlaw, Dragon Ruse, Lee Carlson, Shinatsky, D. Bud Martin, 11 Alpha. I'm not going to mention that name because that was a bot. And that's it, guys. So thanks a lot for popping in and hanging out. I love all you limey bastards hanging out with me. It's great.
Tell them about next week, Gerry.
Yes, next week's going to be huge.
Huge.
I won't be here. No, I'm just kidding. This is next week. We got none other than Captain Dale Dye is going to be joining us for a bit to talk about working on Starship Troopers. Also, Jake Busey is a friend of mine, but I couldn't get a hold of him. So I don't know what's going on. But that is that. Because I was kind of hoping that I could get some comments about working on the film from it.
That would have been really
But that's
cool.
it. So don't forget to join us next week. If you want to ask Captain Dale Day some questions, please feel free to. We really appreciate it when you make your questions more noticeable by adding color to them.
What? What's that we're talking about here?
You know what he means.
99. It's pay chat. We appreciate it.
Oh, wait, dude, you're so late for the show.
Yeah. You're really late.
You're like my sister when we went camping and I had to take a shit and shows up with paper after I've used leaves.
Wait, I'm gonna give you your video only because I really like the video. So here we go.
Back door secure.
There you have it.
Here, didn't you have the shits last week? That's like he ate the chicken a la King MRE and got fucking food poisoning while we're out on FTX. And we showed up at the hospital later, and he goes, "You guys found me?" I said, "It's pretty easy. You left the trail."
Ew. And with that,
True story. Fucked up things that I say. I know, sweetheart. But that's it, guys. Next Monday with Dale for doing Star Troopers. Don't forget, what are we doing Wednesday? I don't remember.
What of the
I don't know.
words?
I don't know what
War.
Martin just said.
War,
War
of the world.
of the Worlds. Okay, War of the Worlds.
Oh, we have to
The
watch
one
that
with Tom Cruise, which, by the way, is not a bad film. I do enjoy that film. I don't like the ending because Steven Spielberg was trying to go for the Searchers ending, and it doesn't fucking work here. And I didn't like that. Because it makes the father feel like an outsider and shouldn't do that to the dad. So, but that's it, guys. We're out of here. We'll see you later. Have a great Monday and watch the skies. Cubs win.
Bye, guys.
Cubs win.
Y'all come back now. You hear?